Hello everyone, welcome to the Talking Corner. I am Cracks, your host. It is Have a Drink With Me Friday. I have a drink with me. Of course, it's canned water. You guys know me now. Can't have my regular stuff like I want. Now I should be cracking open a bottle of Chardonnay or something to drink. Can't have it, due to blood pressure. So now we are waiting for everybody to show up. We're going to have the old man from the Old Man's Podcast, a special guest, Dena Jo, with us tonight. And it is about to start crack-a-lacking. I apologize for being a few minutes late, just because I had to get ready. Hello, everyone. Everybody's starting to pour in now. Eric's just joined us, the old man. Hey, call up whenever you get a chance. How you guys doing? Oh, thank you, Eric, for sharing the show. I appreciate that. Since people are not getting the notifications anymore for some reason, then Dena Jo is with us as well. You two call in whenever you get the chance, of course. This is all about you guys tonight. And again, I apologize for being just a few minutes late. I had a bit of an issue. The old man is calling up. Hello, 20. So how's it going?
Hello, can you hear me fine?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. And Dena,
perfect. How you doing?
busy. Today is, you would call this kind of like an eve of midsummer, and tomorrow is...
What was that?
This is kind of like the eve of midsummer, and tomorrow is midsummer.
Yeah, that's right.
I have an 11-hour drive at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
I have to go see my mommy.
Wow. Now we were afraid that the spiders had broke out and had taken you over.
Oh, that would never happen. That would never happen. Not when else. I'd put that stuff on Instagram. I'd be like, look, see.
I don't know. I've seen too many scary spider movies. That's funny stuff.
How are you guys doing? How's it going?
Great.
We're doing great. We had a blast this morning on our show. We had a good time. We had some technical difficulties, so our show ended up being a part 1, part 2 thing. But it was good. We had good times. Yeah. We always enjoy our podcast. We have a blast. It's just fun stuff.
That's awesome. Is it warm where you guys are at, by the way? I've been meaning to ask people how it's been around the world.
Well, here in Washington State, in the Pacific Pacific Northwest of the United States, I'm in the state of Washington. It has been nothing but rain for most of June. Almost since June 1st till about 2 days ago, it's been nothing but rain. And now it's finally broke. And we got some sun yesterday. Today's a beautiful sunny day. Right now it says it's about 83. And it's just been, and now it's gorgeous. Now it's a gorgeous day.
Oh, wow.
And we got your rain. We have been in the 90s the past week, and now all of a sudden this morning we're about 71. So, yeah, we got his rain. Came our way.
Cool. You can have it. You can have it for a while. I'm tired of it. Man, I tell you, I planted stuff, and it just, it started when I planted, I planted my corn on June 1st, I believe, and it was a fairly nice day. And I'm thinking, okay, there we go. And then nothing but rain. And I'm thinking, man, is my corn ever going to come up, And it finally broke up.
Oh, nice.
It finally broke in and broke up, but then I'm waiting for more sun because it's just not growing. And now the last 2 days with the sun, bam, it's growing. Grammy says to say hi to you and sorry that she can't join. She's got a dentist appointment and she's off to right now. So,
she's that hurts my mouth just thinking about that. I can't do dentist. Dentist and I do not get along.
Yeah, she's gonna have a crown put on. So, don't tell me what's going on.
Eric says hello. Roxanne's in the house.
Hi, Roxanne. So, what do you want to know about us? What do you want to know about me?
Well, I was going to say, let the audience know who you are. Let us know what your shows, when it starts, the days that you go on, and we can go from there.
Okay, well, I'm the old man, and joining us on the phone is as my one of my co-hosts, my number one, Dena Jo, and
Hello.
we are the Old Man's Podcast. We are on the air live every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock Pacific Coast time here in the United States, and we're on for anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. We just get on and we just chit chat. We try to, if you can envision just friends coming over to your house and sitting down in the morning and talking with you on your, at your breakfast table with a cup of coffee. That's what we try to be. We just get together, we just chat, we talk about things we want to talk about. We avoid all the controversy and the madness that's going on within the world. We figure everybody else is talking about that. We don't need to. And we want to give people something to listen to uplift them and make them laugh, put a smile on their face. Have their on on the West Coast here that their day is starting on a positive note.
Right.
Give them positivity, get them going, and so their day is starting, and they're happy, they're laughing, they're having a good time. People all the way onto the East Coast of the United States now, we want to try to get a hold of those people and help them erase all the nasty that they've had to put up with for the first half of their day, and break the chains of that in their life and have them go into the last half of their day after lunch and forward, feeling good and having a good time. So for me, that's what I try to accomplish with my podcast.
That's awesome.
There's just too much. There's just too much. Too much hate, too much orneriness, too much anger. And
I have to agree
I
with
just
that.
don't want to do that. I just don't want to be that way. And so Dena Jo can tell you what she thinks.
Yeah, we just exactly. I picture us sitting around a table, even though we're all in three different states. We're just hanging out and just talking, and we always have a smile on our face, and it's just been a blast. It's just been fun, and it's been fun to get to start our mornings together, and we have a little following, and starting with those people, it's just been great. I've been enjoying it. And Eric too, our minister of knowledge, he's great. He's always there for us, helping us out every morning, and yeah, we're just having fun. I thank the old man for giving me the opportunity to be able to do this every morning with him. It's been great, and for me to learn and grow as a person. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of came over. I had a podcast with my son called Dreadnought 928, and we went for quite a while. We had over 100 shows. We were banging it out, having fun, and then all of a sudden that just came to an abrupt end. My son decided to take off in a different direction, and he didn't have time for his podcast, so it just kind of left me a big void in my life because I was having such a blast, such a good time, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to start my own podcast. So I started it, and on the first time I did a live show, a guy from England, Ollie, he joined in, and Eric joined in. They were like the first two people, and I'm not sure if Dena Jo, if you were on the first show or not.
No, I
But
didn't. I mean, the whole dreadnought thing just happened so fast. I didn't even know. It just so happened so quickly. Yeah, it was like the second
yeah,
one I came on. Yeah.
yeah, because we lost contact. Dena Jo was a follower of the Dreadnought 928 show. And then, so we kind of lost contact. And then something came up with, there was a subject of autism come up. No, not autism. It was the pets.
Oh,
It
autism.
was
Okay.
the adopting, fostering pets. It was a
Fostering.
fostering
Oh,
pet thing that
okay.
came up. And I tried to get a hold of
Yeah.
Dena Jo and said, "Hey, why don't you come on the show and talk about it?" And she came on and she started talking about that, and she hasn't stopped talking since.
He's kind of kept me
No,
around.
it's been great.
we
we've had. I'm telling you, we have such a blast, and it's like Eric and Dena Jo and I. We all agree. We could do our podcast, and we could not have anybody. We could have not have anybody show up in the chat room or call or anything, and we'd still go for an hour and a half, and have a blast. Because we just, we make fun of each other, we poke fun of each other, we just laugh and giggle, have a good time, and talk about
we enjoy
anything
each other's
strange and
company.
interesting. Yeah, like I said, it's just a bunch of friends getting together, having a good time before they have to go to work. That's basically what it is.
That's great. That's really great. No, I have to agree with you on the positivity. My nieces have come up with an excellent idea. I've still got to get a GoFundMe for this because it's going to get expensive. But they want to send candy around the world. So basically, if you have a bad day, or if you know somebody's having a bad day or bad week or whatever, you can come in through an email, give an address, say, hey, we want candy sent to this address, and we send you candy from Sweden.
Now, see, that's the kind of stuff that's the kind of stuff we encourage, like yourself, people to come onto our podcast and plug it, promote that stuff. We try to be an avenue for that kind of stuff to get out there. So, the invitation's open. You come on the podcast, tell everybody what it's all about, and use this as a part of a springboard for, other people's activities like that. That's what we try to do.
We're not against that at all. Yeah, a lot of Podbean people are, don't you promote on my show? Don't do that. We're totally the opposite. We want to help people out.
Yeah, we want people to promote their podcast and promote their causes. Within reason. We don't want to,
right.
We don't want any bad stuff. I know we'll cut you off, but good positive stuff going forward. Yeah, we were. Dena Jo was interviewing a group of guys from a podcast called Two Dumbasses. I even have a hard time saying that.
Two Dumbasses.
That's the name of their podcast.
Yes. I had them on my show earlier. I think it was yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. I think it was Wednesday, for Company Pats Wednesday. They peeked in to see what my show was about. And honestly, they were really good people. I was like, you can't call up and promote your show. Nah, it's okay. Okay.
Yeah, they are a good guys, and they were promoting some charitable things that they're doing, and you'd think when you hear the name, it's kind of like, when I heard the name, it's like, oh wow, what's this all about? But then when we talk to them, oh yeah, positive stuff. So that's what we try to do too. We try to give everybody an avenue to get started. We got rules. I've got rules. I don't want anybody on there belligerent. I don't want anybody in there mean. I don't want anybody being nasty. Watch your language. I'm like the dad. Hey, don't be talking like that. I make it straighten
exactly.
up. And when people follow the rules, they come in, and we had a guy from his podcast, his homeboy 88. He comes in, and he calls in, and he's saying something, and it kind of like a slip of the tongue or something. And he goes, "No, don't kick me out, old man. Don't kick me out." It's like, so that's kind of like become the theme of our show. Don't kick me out, old man. So I'm thinking about putting that on a coffee mug and sending it out to people.
That sounds great. I'd buy that.
Yeah. Well, see, I wouldn't do it to sell them.
We're
passing
them out.
Just giving them out. But people will follow rules. I think that's part of the problem, is that nobody's enforcing rules. If you lay down laws, lay down your little rules, people will follow them. And we get people that come into ours and talk all the time, and the chat room's really live and active. We got people calling in and good conversation and all that. And then I'll go to their podcast, and it's like, holy moly, it's like sitting around with a bunch of old sailors, they're just, but my point is, and that's fine. I do not have a problem with that. And I even tell people, if those are the kind of podcasts you like to go to, by all means, go. Check out the people that follow us. Everybody's got a podcast, and find them. Find what you like and listen to. And and I mean, our audience is growing. Our audience is really growing. We're basically into our second month, and we're closing in on 200 followers. We're trying to hit 200 followers by the end of June, and we're really close. I think
Yeah.
we're just under 170 right now. So, but and people are constantly telling me, we love your show. We like your show. We love listening to you guys. You guys make us laugh. You guys make us feel good. And it's like, it makes me feel good because that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. We just want people to feel good. Give them something other than the crazy anger that surrounds us all. Just something, just another avenue, just something peaceful. That's what we're all about.
And I can get 100% behind that. It's interesting because I worry about some of the podcasters living in England right now because of all the riots. Because you think the riots in the U.S. are bad, which they are. I'm not dumbing that down in any way, shape, or form. But they're really bad in the UK as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm worried about some podcasters like Asha and Dan because those are the areas that they live in.
Sure.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
do you need to come to my country? I'll help you buy the ticket. And they're like, no, we're good.
I've told people, I've shared with people, I said, me, Dena Jo, and Eric, we are not naive. We know exactly what's going on. We follow the news. We know what's going on. We have our opinions about what's going on. And we're well abreast to what's going on. We know, we understand. We just choose not to talk about it. For once, for an hour and a half a day, we're turning it off. Because I'm very strongly I'm opinionated, and I signed in on one show. I can't remember what it was, and they were talking, and they go, "Hey, the old man's here. Hey, all right, hey." And they go, "Hey, let's ask the old man what he thinks. Let's get his opinion." And I go, "Well, now, let me tell you, you can ask me for my opinion. You can ask me any question you want, but you better be prepared for the answer." And if you're going to ask me for my opinion, that's fine. I am not going to argue with you. You want my opinion? I'll give you my opinion, but I'm not going to argue with you. And be cautious because you might not like what you got to hear. And so once I said that, they go, "Hey, well, then let's talk about." They talk about something else, which suits me fine because my opinions are my opinions. I do not need to share them with the world. As a matter of fact, sometimes I prefer not to.
I need to learn
Why?
from you.
Why?
I need to learn from you a little bit more.
Why put something vile in my drink? Let me just keep it nice and sweet.
Yeah.
I've even told people if you really want to know my opinions on stuff, you can look me up my personal Facebook page, and you can follow me and see. Even though I have tamed that down a bit, you can look me up and follow me if you want. But I have, and I will say this: I have been suspended and banned from Twitter. So
yes, I was just saying suspended. You were kicked out.
Ooh.
I was a little worried when we started the old man's Twitter page. I did that. I did the old man's Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram because I just want to get our podcast out there. I don't use none of those formats for political things or that. I don't. It's just to get my podcast out there, let people know we're there, get downloads. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm a stat man. I love stats. And I like to see numbers climbing and that kind of stuff. It just coming from my background of quality control, quality assurance, we're always doing graphs and PowerPoint presentations to show trends and all that stuff. Well, I like to see numbers grow. So it's all just to get our podcast out there, and that's why I do those things. So, but I will say I do have fun with the Facebook page. The Facebook page is fun. The old man's podcast Facebook page is a blast because
yes,
I'm not the administrator. I'm not the author of the page. Dena Jo is her picture.
You look like you are.
I know, because
She's incognito.
Something weird going on with that picture. Something weird going on with that picture when it says the old.
It is. Well, it's funny because I opened it up, so I guess I'm the author, but I have you as the profile picture, but once I change the author picture, it changes the profile picture. So I don't want my face up there. I want your face up there. So goodness, every time. Yeah.
I tried to straighten out the confusion today with a post.
Okay, yeah.
Did you see it? Did you see the post?
I did. I know. You're the cute one. You're the cute one, you said. He's the cute one.
I told him, I says, the old man, I'm the old man, and my picture is what you see next to the name, The Old Man's Pod Show. I go, but basically, I don't remember exactly what I said, but basically what I said was, the author and the man, and the person that does most of the posts, makes most of the posts in this is done by the author and the chief administrator, Dena Jo. And I go, and this is Dena Jo's picture. And I posted just a great picture of Dena Jo. And I went, I know, I'm the pretty one, but that's how it is. But that's the kind of stuff we have. We just have fun. We just have a blast.
Yes.
So I have a question for you two.
Sure.
Are you guys going to enter the contest at the end of the show?
What is it for?
I am the worst person to try to say names.
Me too.
There is no way I could ever pronounce that stuff. I mean, I saw the last one you did, and I'm thinking, I looked at that and I'm going, there is no way I could even begin to say that. No way. I mean, I can't.
Next month, it's for a giveaway for next month, and it's going to be a free tarantula. And thanks to Roxanne donating her prize, I'm putting that towards a starter kit. So basically, you get a tarantula and a starter kit.
And I would, I got to be honest with you, I would have to pass on the prize. I will say this: since I started following you and listening to your show, my arachnophobia has taken kind of a, it's kind of calmed down. It's actually kind of calmed down, but I'm still scared of spiders.
Well, this is to help bring.
I know.
This is, like I said, this is to help bring awareness. We've had there's a spike in yellow fever, the Nile. There's one other, forgot the name of it, and plus malaria. They don't. Their predictions are pretty high this year. Instead of 400,000 people dying this year, that like last year, that they're expecting close to 500,000 dying. And that's not including the, I think it's like 500,000 stillborn babies due to malaria. So yes, that it's for the hashtag Catch Cup. Yes, it's going along those lines. And thank you, Green Lantern, for sharing the show. But what it is, I'm trying to bring awareness to an actual really lethal disease, no matter what country you're in. You can have some of the best care, and you may not respond well to the what was it? I forgot what the medicine's called, but it's basically tablets now. It used to be injections. So you may not respond well, and if you're pregnant, you're going to lose the child. It's almost a 100% chance of losing the child.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty nasty. So what we're trying to do is do a hashtag Catch Cup. Save a life, hashtag Catch Cup. Put the spider back outside. Don't squish it. So, because they eat mosquitoes.
Yeah,
they save lives.
The one thing I learned from your show is, when I'd walk through my yard and my gardens and that, I was always disrupting the little spider webs and all that stuff, getting rid of the spiders. And through what I've learned through you, and I thank you for that, is that hey, spiders are a garden's friend. Because they take care of bugs. They keep the bugs down, and they go after certain bugs and all this and that. So I got to tell you, I leave them alone now. I actually kind of talk to them a little bit. Hey, how you guys doing? Good to see you. And hey, get away from me! Don't come close.
Yeah.
But,
Here's a quick tip: if you see a spider come near you, blow on it.
oh yeah, I was
Oh,
just
They
kidding.
stop and they'll run away.
I was just kidding about coming after me, but no, yeah, I've always been one. I've always been one to marvel at a spider spinning its web. I mean, even in my worst cases of my arachnophobia in my life, if I saw a spider spinning a web, I would stand there and be mesmerized and just watch them because it's just fascinating. It is fascinating to watch them. And I got this. We have these little. I've always wondered how in my yard. How is it that I've got this little tiny spider web going? It's almost like 12 feet from one point A to point B through the air, and I'm thinking, what the heck? How's that? Well, I learned that I call them paratroopers. These little spiders, and they catch the wind and they just go through the air with their web, and they just on whatever they land on, And I literally saw like a dozen of these things do this in my backyard at one time. It was an awesome sight. The sun was up, it was a nice warm day, a little bit of a breeze, and all of a sudden I just saw like about 12 of these things going off through the yard. And I'm going, holy moly, there's the paratroopers. And it was awesome. It was an awesome sight to see. Yeah, so
sounds
you've
cool.
made me grow. You've made me grow with my I'm getting the fear
Braver.
of spiders and the appreciation of spiders are the scale is tipping. The scale is tipping. So
Yes,
I wanted to thank you for that.
exactly.
It's awesome.
I could say the same thing that one time I called in and when you were unboxing them, I thought, oh, but it was so interesting, and now I find it very interesting. So yeah,
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Aww.
So
Well, see, this
we
is
owe that
why
to
I love
you.
science. This is why I like science. Science brings people together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it does. Yeah. Weird thing what happened to us, me and Grammy, the other day. I've got these lilies that are growing. They're just about ready to bloom. Beautiful, beautiful flowers. And we're looking at them. And the weather, like I said, had been kind of cool and rainy, no sun. And we looked at the very top of these flowers that are getting ready to bloom. And there was this little ball there, a ball. And I looked at that and I go, what the heck is that? And Grammy, she goes, oh, that's spider. Those are spiders. I go, no, they're not. They can't be. That's not a spider. That's something that's caught in the spider web, like a seedling from a pine tree or something. She goes, nope, those are spiders. They can't be spiders. So I reached up there and I touched it, just barely touched it with the end of the bottom of my cup, and hundreds of these things just bailed. I mean, it was just like, yeah, and they just bailed down the plant. And I was like, holy moly. So we sit there and we watched them for a little bit. And once they gathered themselves and, landed, they all worked their way back up into that little ball. And that was the most fascinating thing that I had ever seen. It was fascinating. Then I got up a
Yeah.
couple of mornings later, went out there and looked, and it wasn't there anymore. I figured they moved on. But that to me was fascinating. I could not get over that, And I figured, was it because of the weather? They were all huddled and bundled up together?
Yep.
I have no idea. But it
It's
was
it's probably either one of two things: a change in barometric pressure, which alerts them of oncoming colder weather, so they're bundling to stay warm, or it's generally a cooler morning, or a cooler part of the day, and so they've bundled up to stay warm. So it's one of those two.
it was absolutely fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah. So there it is. Oh, we were talking to a guy from Australia, and we got on the topic of spiders, and we were asking him about those
Huntsman?
huntsman spiders.
The big spiders.
Yeah.
Every
He goes,
country has one. They just
yeah,
need a
he
bigger
goes,
one.
yeah, he goes, those are nothing. He goes, those are good for your house. We have one in our bed. Didn't he say he had one in his bathroom, Dena Jo, or
Yes,
something
in
like
his
that? We got
bathroom.
one in our
Yeah,
house right now. Yeah. He goes, they're friendly. They won't hurt you. They eat all the other bugs. And I'm going, no, I couldn't have a spider the size of a chihuahua in my house. But no, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's all education. It's just all education. And I was thinking about that. How and why did I ever become afraid of spiders? because fear is taught. I think fear is an emotion, and emotions are kind of taught. So what happened that I must have saw somebody freak out over a spider, and then so I learned that that's what you do with spiders, you freak out or something. What was it in my life? And I can't pinpoint it. I can't pinpoint where I got taught that this is how you react to spiders. I always found that that's kind of interesting, though. So my idea is, if you've got a little kid and you're raising up a little kid, if you don't freak out over like a spider, if you go, oh look, there's a spider, yeah, he makes webs, he lives in a web, and he eats other bugs, and if you don't freak out, they're not going to grow up and freak out over them. I mean, does that make sense?
Oh yeah,
Actually,
I
was going to say that I know my nieces are complete opposite, because their dad is definitely afraid of spiders, and this is my brother-in-law I'm talking about. Through my sister, by the way. Just going to point that out. So there's some people like, well, really? But no, he's absolutely terrified of spiders, and so what they'd love to do is they love to put a clear cup or a clear jar over them, and leave it on the counter just so they can watch their dad freak out.
Those little devils. And then they sit in the back and just laugh. And have oh yeah,
and this man is not short either. He's 194 centimeters tall, which is about 6'3", I think. And
oh wow.
Yeah, he like I said, he's just a big. He's not like thick. He needs to gain weight in my eyes, but he's just tall. He's really, really tall. And so it's just really funny to watch a guy that you would think would be the one taking the spider out, just totally lose it. It's just hilarious.
I had a friend of mine who has since passed away. We worked together for about 12 and a half years. And he goes, he called me Merc. And he goes, Merc, I don't understand us. He goes, look how big we are. We're big dudes, but yet we act like like a little spider's going to grab us and carry us off. I go, yeah, that's exactly how we act. We and then we go to step on a spider. I would put my whole 300 pounds into it, because if I didn't, he was going to grab me by the foot, flip me on the ground, and haul me off. I mean, that's just, it's just insane. The fear. I just don't get it. I'm trying not to be.
You're too funny.
Good times.
Too funny. Yeah. Well, you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to get off the call. I have to get my son. So I just, yeah. Can you hear me?
Problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Dena Jo.
Take care, Dena. Drive safe, okay?
Okay. Thank you for having me. Talk to you later. Bye. I'll be listening.
Bye. What a great person. Dena Jo is just a great person. I've gotten to know her pretty good, pretty close. We've developed a real close friendship, and it's bizarre because, we talk. I mean, we actually will talk. We call each other. We talk on the phone. We talk about the show and what we're going to do, and we text each other, and so we've become good friends. She's a good friend. And Grammy, my wife, she just adores Dena Jo. It's just good times. Just good times. That's what it's all about. Friendship.
Hey, Cracks. Hey, old man.
Hey, there's my
hope
man.
Everybody's having a good Friday today.
There's another one. There's another one, Eric.
I'm dreading.
You're dreading?
Well,
yes.
The one thing I would say we really enjoy about the morning show Chit Chat with the Old Man is we always make our audience feel like they're part of the family, and I think we definitely need to get back to having that in daily life.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. That I have to. I'll stand by that 100%.
Because I mean, it's like the Talking Corner podcast with you, Cracks. You always want to make your audience feel warm and welcomed.
Yep.
Make them feel at home. In other words.
Yes.
And you do, by the way. You do very well. You got a very welcoming podcast.
I try, except for me talking about spiders all the time.
No, but that's a passion. That's a passion. I mean, that's a passion,
Passion
and
project.
that's the kind of stuff that draws people in when you can share your passion. When you can share your passion and you're excited about it, that makes people inquisitive. They want to know, well, what is it that she finds so interesting? So then they start looking into it and they start researching it. Next thing you know, now they're not afraid of spiders and they've got an appreciation for, oh no. I mean, I would never stop talking about, your passion. I mean, that's education. And it's so educational too. I love the photographs on Instagram. I mean, I do. I like it, but I got to tell you, when I first started following you, I'd click on. Oh, look! I'd click open Instagram, and right there, bam, big old spider. Nah,
I try to throw my cats in there once in a while.
Yes, you do. So I'm starting to get used to it. So no, oh no, never stop talking about your passion. I mean, that's what's fun. If you can't talk about your passion with people, then what do you talk about? That's like one of my passions is music. I really love music. I've been a musician. I've been involved in music since I was a little kid, like in the fourth grade, playing instruments. My mom was always playing music in the house, and so I was always exposed to all kinds of different music, and I just love it. Music soothes this. Was it? I think it's a Shakespeare play, and I can't remember the name of it, but it says there's a line that music soothes the savage beast. Well, that's not really the correct interpretation of that. That's what people say. Music soothes the savage beast. But if you look into it, if you look into the actual words that Shakespeare says music soothes the savage breast. And what he means that breast in old language is heart. Music soothes the savage heart. And there's more truth to that, I think, than saying the savage beast. But music reaches in and soothes your heart. It gets into your soul, And I'm very passionate about music. I think people need to chill out, chill and listen to music. Just stop, chill out for a couple of hours and just listen to your favorite music. I don't care what it is. I listen to anything and all kinds of music. And man, if people would just do that, I think everything would be a whole lot better.
Absolutely.
It soothes. It takes away that anger that's in that heart, that savage heart. It takes it. And man. And speaking of music, tonight at 8 o'clock Pacific time here. I don't know what time that would be for you. But on Fridays, I have a music show, the Old Man's Music Show. And I pick an artist and I spend about an hour and a half playing their songs. And tonight we're going to do Jeff Healey, the blues artist from Canada. And so, that's what we do. It's very little talking. I just introduce the artist, and then I just go through and start playing their music. And then every now and then I'll do some tidbits of information about them, where they were born, what they're doing, what the band, how the band started, but just play music. Go ahead.
So you're playing tonight, right?
Tonight
Okay.
At 8 o'clock, yeah.
So 5 o'clock in the morning for me.
Aye.
Oh, don't worry about it. I have to
This time zone thing just cracks me up, freaks me out. It's like, holy moly.
I have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, so it's like an 11-hour drive. So.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Jeff Healey, and this is like I think this is the fifth one. Are you still on, Eric? Isn't this our fifth music night? I'm not sure.
I would probably think so, if not our fourth. I know, like last week was like CCR or Creedence
Clearwater Revival. Yeah,
that's it. And I think, and I'm not sure what was before that, but I know like future Friday night music show ideas that I'm sure you, me, and Dena Jo have in mind is maybe a night where we do like one-hit wonders.
Yeah, we're gonna do that, and I'm thinking about doing, the hits from the '70s, or I'm planning
Or the
actually,
80s.
I'm planning on 80s, do the '80s, yeah. But I'm also planning on doing some big band music, because I love big band music. Glenn
Oh,
Miller,
yes.
Benny
Aerosmith,
Goodman. You know,
Armstrong. Oh,
I'm gonna be doing some of
ACDC,
that,
yes.
and be doing some Motown night, and I've even toying with the thought of doing a classical music night because I have a favorite piece of classical music of mine that I absolutely love. It's called Scheherazade by Rimsky-Korsakov, a Russian composer. And this thing's about 45 minutes long. It's 4 movements. And it's one of the best pieces of classical music I've ever heard. And I think I might just do that one night. Just start it, let it go. You know, it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So, you know, and it's fun. And, you know, if people want to come in and listen, that's good. But and how I started doing it was I wanted to listen to some music. And I loved listening to music through headphones, you know, not earbuds, but, you know, quality headphones. And I thought, you know, if I'm going to do this through my headphones, I might as well just do a live podcast because I'm listening to my headphones. And so I started doing it. Now I don't publish my music shows because, you know, things are copyrighted and that kind of stuff. So I just play it and then that's it. That's the last time, you know.
actually, you can buy. It's about it's like 3,000 kroner a year, and that's what I have, which is about $300 US. It's Epidemic Sound, and they have some really good music there. And what you're doing is you're paying for the license, so you can play their music and actually publish it with no repercussion from it, as long as you put down, hey, I'm a subscriber to them.
Right, and that's kind of like what I'm doing with. I pull my music right now from YouTube, but I'm paying for the premium. I'm paying for the to be able to get this music and all that, you know. So
okay, so if you're paying for the use of music, then that's fine. You should be able.
And
to
I tell
them,
I do that. I tell people, hey, you know, you can find this on YouTube, the YouTube Premium service. You can do this and that. And
with Epidemic Sound, I was going to say with Epidemic Sound, you don't have to do any of that. You just.
Oh, I know, but I kind of like doing that though. I like telling people where I get it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm actually thinking about setting up a stereo system and hooking it into my my equipment here and playing my own CDs. You know, saying, "Well, this is from my collection. I own this CD, so this is what I'm going to play." You know, that kind of stuff. So, but it's just fun. I have a blast doing it. It gets me out of Grammy's hair for a couple hours on a Friday. Sometimes she'll join in. If it depends on what I'm listening to. You know what I'm going to play. If I'm going to do Motown, she's there. She's there. She's listening.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But it's all good stuff. It's all good. It's all fun.
Wow. I just want to give a special shout out to Roxanne, who had given me a golden mic. Thank you so very, very much.
Yeah. And we appreciate you sending old man that gold mic this morning too.
Oh, was that Roxanne that did that?
Roxanne did it just for Cracks just a short time ago, but Cracks did it for you this morning, remember?
Oh, Cracks did it for me? See, that's another thing. When I'm doing my podcast, I really don't pay too much attention what's going on in the chat room because I'm too busy just jabbering and talking. I leave all the chat room control to Eric and Dena Jo.
Right.
I mean, they say, "Hey, oh man, someone's asking you a question. What do they want?" You know. So, but I got to say that every now and then, Roxanne will, you know, get in the show and she's there, and then it's like, next thing I know, she's calling in. And I always like it because she'll play the flute, you know, because she's a flautist. And she'll play some flute. And I mean, we were doing something. One show was going crazy. I mean, it just had like it was on the verge of just going crazy, getting out of control. She calls in and she doesn't even say hello. Just starts playing the flute and just calms the whole thing down. Brings some class to this joint. So we have a lot of fun with Roxanne. It's a good person. Good person. I listened to your show with Roxanne the other day. And what a good show. Good show. Very calming.
Yeah. I love Roxanne. She's excellent, especially with the voices. If you can get her on to do the voices, that you'll just die. I died laughing a couple times.
It's just fun stuff, isn't it? Isn't it just a joy and a hoot to have fun doing this?
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
this is a hobby. This is just a hobby for me. I don't give out beans and all that stuff because, quite honestly, I don't buy any. I don't even know what that's all about. I don't buy beans to hand out. I don't know what's going on with that, and I appreciate people giving points and all
Being
that
generous.
to me. And I actually contacted Podbean and said, "Hey, can I take these pod points and convert them to the pod beans? Can I do that? Because I don't know why they wouldn't do that. So, but they never got back with me. But people were saying, well, you can make money with your podcast. You can try to do this and do that. And I'm really not, it's a hobby and I'm really not into it to make money. I'm not into it to be famous. I just want to have fun. And if I can have people come in and have fun with me, that's all I need right there. It's just a blast, just have a good time. And, Eric, I remember when Eric signed, he was like the second person to sign into my first show. And I've seen tremendous growth in Eric. I follow him around all these other podcasts and that, and the guy's busy. Podbeam ought to pay him for what he does for other podcasts.
Yes.
But like Dena Jo has really blossomed. She's come out of her shell, and people are recognizing her and they're interviewing her on other podcasts, and to me that just makes me feel good. I'm just glad.
And I really have enjoyed building relationships with people like you and Grammy, and with Cracks, and with Dena Jo, as well as John DeVito, and his family, of course, and of course JJ over at Slightly Serious, and then other good friends of these great podcasts like Roxanne and Tony Vino and Poetic, and Jimmy, who we know as the Secret Lounge, used to be the Den of the Unknown.
Yeah.
And Lingalonga and Lewis from Almost Everything. I mean, and we talked about this the other day on his show that we know that this whole coronavirus saga really sucks for a lot of people, and I think the only positive thing I found about it is, I guess, had this coronavirus saga never happened, I would have never discovered Podbean, and I would have never met such wonderful people. So
I think you're right.
Yeah, that would be what some would consider a blessing in disguise, because it might be that we were meant to cross paths.
Yeah. I mean, it confined us, and we didn't know, what are we going to do now? Hey, what's this podcast stuff? And everybody started doing podcasts. I think it's great. I know it's a good avenue for me. I have fun.
It's like I discovered it accidentally on purpose.
The old man even told me, she says, the old man. I mean, the old, good grief. Grammy. Grammy even told me. She goes, when you're doing your podcast, you are so much happier. You're happier. You just got got a little skip in your step, and you're just in a better mood since you started doing this podcast. And I think it's because of the people I'm hanging around with. You're hanging around with the people, having a good time and laughing. It's good. It's good stuff. It's therapeutic. Very therapeutic.
Right.
And I feel like I'm taking over your show.
Oh, absolutely not. This is why we were supposed to have a have a drink with me Friday.
Yes, Jess, I agree.
People need other people. Yes, that's very, very, very true. But here's the thing: because of high blood pressure, I'm not allowed to have alcohol anymore. Well, no, not until the blood pressure go back down. That's the goal.
To a desirable level.
Exactly. But we're supposed to have a kind of an alcoholic beverage, kick it, sit around and discuss. Since you're on the show, discuss your your podcast and live cast shows. So you're not taking over the show. This is the whole purpose of it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you think that way. Because it's obvious, you can tell once I start talking, I don't shut up. I just keep going. I love to talk. I love to hear myself talk.
I think after a certain age, like when you hit 40, that's just a thing. Because I'm the same way now.
That's funny. Well, wait till you're my age. Wait till you're 67. Woo, wait. Nobody will ever get a word in edgewise. I will say this. It doesn't seem like, I don't know, maybe we do. We do kind of talk over each other, me and Dena Jo and Eric. But, it's like they know if they want to get a word in edgewise, they just got to come in and say it. They just don't wait for a break. Don't wait for me to try to catch a breath. Just jump in. Isn't that right, Eric?
Right.
So my question is, how long have you been podcasting? How long have you been actually doing this in total? I'm because you may mention that you did the Dreadnought show. So how long in total have you been doing this kind of stuff?
Okay, let me think. I started. Well, let's see. It was 2019, and it must have been around November. Must have been November, December. It must have been December of 2019 I started podcasting with Dreadnought 928. So since December of 2019. Because I didn't really lose any, there was really no gap between Dreadnought 928 and the Old Man's podcast. I just jumped right into it and started, here I go. Hope this works. So yeah, so since December of 2019, that's how long I've been doing this.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you've been doing it for quite some time.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's been a blast. I guess I could look on my Podbean account and it would tell me how I'm, a member since. Let's see. I'm sure it was it, but yeah, it's been December, and it's been fun. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, when Dreadnought stopped, being a big part of me just kind of disappeared because that was so much fun for me. So much fun. And
left a void.
Yeah, it left a real big void. So I just jumped right into it. And actually, I gotta give the credit to Grammy because Grammy saw it. She saw me. She saw it. And it's like a week before. The week before it happened, I could almost see the writing on the wall that it was going to happen. And she looked at me and she goes, "You're being torn apart. Your heart's breaking because you can see this is coming to an end." And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "You need to start your own podcast. You're having so much fun doing it. Start your own. Just continue it. You like the format. You like what you and Rich have. Just keep going and find you a co-host and just keep going with it." So I did, and lo and behold, bam! Eric and Dena Jo, boom, right there, and there they are. They've been with me ever since. And I tell you, it's I couldn't ask for two better people. I couldn't ask you. I mean, I think the growth that Old Man's podcast has seen is duly. Partly, not partly, but mostly because of those two people right there. They get the word out. Eric has so many connections. It's unbelievable in the podcast world.
Oh, I know.
And Dena Jo knows a lot of people, and she gets her friends. Listening and all that. I'll give you an example. When we started in June, I saw, oh, look, there's your viewer or your listener participation charts, and I go, look, the state of Washington's in the lead, Colorado's second. And I'm going, oh, this is the people that are listening to your show. Oh, okay. And she goes, oh, no, that ain't going to work. And so she got on the phone and she started calling people, and Colorado, the numbers are just out of the world. I will hit over 200 participation things with Colorado alone by the end of the month. I mean, she has just, I don't know what she does. And then she just laughs. That's what you get, Washington, She just goes for it. So, and then Eric too. I mean, Eric has got the exposure she's got the exposure, our podcast exposure with all kinds of other people. I'll tune into a podcast. Eric's in there, and bam, he's plugging it. He's plugging the Old Man's podcast, And
Yes.
and so I mean, that to me is just exciting. And I would not trade those two people for anybody else. I mean, they're the lifeblood of the Old Man's Podcast right there. I mean, without them, I don't think I wouldn't have what I have today. And I mean,
Well,
I could not be there, and they could still. They did that today when I had a technical problem. All of a sudden, I can't talk. I mean, I
yes.
can type into the chat room, but nobody can hear me. And I typed in, I don't know what's going on. Take it. You guys go with it. Bam! They did. They took off, and they're having fun and all this and that. And then we lost that podcast. Then we lost it. We lost our connection. And then I started another show immediately. So that's why
Part
if you
two.
look at our downloads for today, you have Friday part 1, Friday part 2. But I tell you, they didn't miss a lick. They just kept going. I mean, they were just
Yeah,
going.
we carried it.
And I'm thinking, what am I doing here? What am I, just a pretty face?
Yes, you are.
I'm just the pretty face. No, but it is just absolutely fun. I mean, I just can't say how much fun I can't put it in words, And this thing with Grammy, she, she liked how much fun I was doing, and we've got a pretty small, modest 3-bedroom house, and it's just me and her. Well, we have 2 bedrooms that are basically being used for storage and that kind of stuff. And she goes, "We need to clean this room, turn this room into your man cave studio for your podcast." I go, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah." Bam! 3 weeks later, it's done. I'm sitting in it right now. It's painted. The floor's done. I got my desk, my equipment in here, a big lounging chair. It's done. It's my room. It's my podcast. And that's how much she is so much into this. And just so everybody knows, we're not leaving her out. We're starting the room right across the hall from it is going to be her craft room. We've got it all,
nice.
Everything tore out of it.
Nice.
We're tearing up carpeting to probably tomorrow, and so we can do some painting and get the flooring in there and get her little craft room so she can sit in there and do her crocheting, do her knitting. And she don't have to be sitting next to me. I don't have to be bothering her and making her make mistakes. And she has to redo things because I won't shut up. Unless she just go in your studio. Go in your studio. Go take care. Go do something. Leave me alone. So. But yeah, this has been a great adventure. Great. I just can't stop talking. I just can't stop talking. See, and she's not here to control me. She had to go, like I said, she had to go to the dentist. If she was here, she'd be looking at me like, she'd be going like that. "You need to stop talking, look. Stop talking." You're such a nice host to just let me go on and on and on and on like this.
Oh no! This is, like I said, this is what Friday is all about. You're promoting your show. You're talking about your show. You're letting us know. You're building up a relationship with my audience, which go for it. But I think everybody I see in my podcast is literally everybody that listens to you too. So
Yeah, well, we've been plugging it, boy. We've been plugging coming onto your show, so we've been pushing it hard just to get everybody to come. So yeah, I mean, but that's what we do. I mean, we help each other out, right? I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good stuff.
Building unity is one of my things too, because I think it's like at Podbean, we're all just one big family, that we want to support each other in any way we possibly can and do our part to keep our shows relevant.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, and I just saw Roxanne's name, and it made me remember, Eric, the last music show we did was the Edgar Winter Band, because that was her suggestion, and so we did it. So, yeah.
We wish she could have been there for that, but we were definitely thinking about her, and hopefully maybe she could walk away knowing that she was with us in spirit.
Oh man, that was a good show, because I never really listened to a lot of Edgar Winter, and man, I thoroughly enjoyed his music, and it made me wonder, why didn't I ever listen to this guy before? Because it's from my era. I went to school. I was graduated from high school in '71. So I mean, it's like, what was I doing? So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I'm just going through the chat room right now, seeing what's there. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Hi, good to see you. One thing I was going to tell you, Cross. One thing I was going to tell you is, like you say, hey, what's your show? You say, have a drink with me on Friday thing. Yeah, I'm like this, and I'm sober. I'm stone sober, and this is how I am when I'm sober. Can you imagine if I was drinking?
Oh my gosh, that'd make for an interesting show.
Well, I was gonna maybe have a little cognac or have a little bourbon or something. But I have a rule here that if Grammy's not here, if she's got to go out and do some running around or do something, I don't drink. I don't drink when she's not here, or because if she's out someplace and, heaven forbid something happens and she needs me to come get her, be her rescue ranger or something, I got to be able to jump in the vehicle at a moment's notice and go. And, if you're sitting around drinking and you're drunk, you can't do that for your loved ones. So, it's an understanding I have with her. I will not partake of the spirits when she is away. So it's just the type of guy I am. Yeah. Okay. Next question.
And the two dumbasses just entered the room.
Hello, two dumbasses. Welcome to the Talking Corner. I'm Crax, your host. We have the old man on for our interview this evening. We have Eric filling in for Dena Jo's spot since she had to leave. I hope you guys stick to the end.
I'm 1/3 of it.
Yeah, he's not filling in for her.
Oh,
he should have been on with her. Yeah, he's 1/3 of it. Well, now I don't know, Eric. I mean, you're a quarter, she's a quarter, I'm half. So, I mean, hey, I got to regain.
Or the other quarter would probably control. Be Grammy whenever she's on.
Oh, then she just takes control. Yeah. Oh, she was really looking forward to it too. She was looking forward to getting on. She was looking forward to getting on and talking to you because she likes your show too. But I get that dentist appointment. She forgot all about it, and then whatever. It's like, come on, Grammy. So, I mean, if she comes back like right now, she could get on and talk, but she'd probably be going, this is really fun show, because her mouth is full of been Novocained up,
Yeah,
she'd be drooling. She'd be drooling on the mic. Yeah, come on. That's fun stuff. Yeah, that was a good interview that Dena Jo did with the two dumbasses today on Friday Part 1 show. For anybody who wants to tune into that and listen to that interview. That was a good interview. Those guys are crack up.
Oh, well,
their podcast goes live this Sunday, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, and Ralph has just entered. Hello.
Hey, Ralph, welcome. He's also another good friend of our show.
Same here. He's a good friend in general. I had a pretty bad Monday, and he was there to listen to everything I had to say, and he was a very good listener.
Ralph was a real big influence on me when this thing that happened with Dreadnought 928 about me going out and just doing it by myself, because I tuned into Ralph and I'm listening to Ralph talk. I'm listening to Ralph's show, and and I'm thinking, instead of outside of being able to talk like Ralph Williams like this,
and Ralph has a special ability to connect with
I can do that. I think I can do that. And he was really he encouraged me and that kind of stuff. So, hey, thanks, Ralph. Thanks for that. That's about the only interpretation I can do is Ralph Williams. I used to always tease Ralph, say, man, if I had a voice like you, man, I'd be doing podcasts all the time like this.
He has an incredibly good voice.
He does.
His voice reminds me of that late night radio talk shows.
Exactly. That's what I told him. I remember one show I tuned in on Ralph. I'm gonna tell on you, Ralph. I tuned in on Ralph, and he was talking, and he was going, I think I ought to go to a voice coach or something, and see if I can. I don't like how my voice hurts. And I'm yelling at my phone going, no, what are you, crazy? If I'd kill for a voice like that, And here's Ralph with this nice sultry, hey, welcome to the Jazz Hour. And here I am, hey, hi, everybody. What's going on,
I think this makes sense to anyone. Hopefully Ralph enjoys this fodder and comment I'm about to make, that his show is kind of like the Podbean version of The Quiet Storm. Wouldn't you agree, Ralph?
The only thing I regret about Ralph's show is that he does a morning. He's on at 6:00, but that's 3:00 in the morning for me. And by the time I get up and get going, he's off. His morning show has ended. But I really love listening to Ralph. Ralph's a good guy. I try to plug his show as much as I can because he's just left a lasting impression on me. What a great guy.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm very much into listening to the show.
And us talking about him like this is making him embarrassed.
Yeah, probably.
Come on. No, it's all right.
have you heard? He's got one of these voices. I've never heard him angry, so you can only imagine how his voice probably gets deeper.
That's right. And of all the times I've never heard him get upset at all. I mean, I've never heard Ralph get upset. At least it doesn't sound like it. He doesn't get.
Yeah, I know exactly.
His voice doesn't change. He just keeps talking. Yeah.
Well, he's already mastered the art.
I remember there was a time when Ralph was even talking about, I don't know if I'm going to do this anymore. And this is when he was a regular listener of the Dreadnought 928. And I think if he remembers, I don't know if he'll remember, but me and Rich, we got on him. Are you crazy? You need to keep doing it. People, because people like listening to him and this and that. So we tried to, help Ralph and keep the vision alive. Yeah. He inspired us. I tell you, Ralph inspired us at Dreadnought 928. He's inspired me and the Old Man podcast. So he's a great guy.
Yeah. And he's an excellent listener. I can't stress that enough. I think he spent like 2.5 hours out of his day just to let me rant in private. It was just like, I was having one of those. As everybody knows, I battle depression, and I was going down a pretty steep hill, and he's like, I was like, are you busy? He's like, nope. Do you want to call? Yep.
Ralph's a smart guy. He's a smart guy, and he's got a big heart,
Oh, absolutely.
And
yes,
he's I've got his email address if I need to email him, but he's a good guy. I would definitely turn to Ralph if I needed somebody to talk to. He's a good guy. Of course, as much as I talk, Ralph would probably go, I'm busy. No, I'm sorry. He'd say like this. Well, Jim, I gotta
Love you.
I hope you. I've been teasing. I've been making fun of Ralph for a long time, so I don't think he's mad at me. You're not mad at me, are you, Ralph? Come on. I love you, buddy. I love you.
Would you mind if he called in and shared the show with you?
Me?
Yeah.
Heck no. I'm always trying to get Ralph to call in my show. It's like I would knock Dena Jo and Eric off just to talk to Ralph. I can say that now because Dena Jo's not listening. Oh yeah. Ralph's crazy. He's a good guy.
So Ralph, call up when you get a chance. If you get a chance. Suraj, hey, it's a long time no see. I'm glad you made it. And just a word out to everybody who's just entered. I hope you guys stay tuned to the end of the show. Then I will release the secret name, so you guys can practice until next month when I do the release and see who wins the tarantula and the starter kit.
So how long does your show go?
My shows generally, it depends. Generally it's for an hour and a half throughout the week, but on Fridays it generally goes for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So.
Oh, okay.
So how long do you still go fix it? It depends if it's what? How long? So how long is you still go fix it? Ralph, I don't understand that one. I'm sorry.
I'm be glad there isn't an English language arts teacher in the room.
Stay away from the fireball. Stay away from the fireball. I know Ralph likes drinking Fireball. Let's see.
Yeah, Fireball is so expensive here because it's.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's an import, so it's just right up there with Jack Daniels and everything. Ralph is calling in. Hey, Ralph.
Nice.
Hey, Ralph.
Hey guys, sorry.
Hey,
I was
Ralph.
trying to use. What's going on, Eric? Hey, old man, how are you?
Hey,
I was trying
Ralph,
to use
dude,
the
man.
voice chat thing, and it wasn't picking up what I was trying to say. No, I was just
Oh,
gonna
that
say
that
that
thing will betray you in a heartbeat. That voice.
yeah, man, I've lost many of friends because of that thing.
I'll tell you what else is even worse: the autocorrect feature on our devices.
Yeah, that too, man.
I have an old friend of mine that text messages me with that, and it's like his name's Joe, and it's like, Joe, you need to just write it because I haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
It takes so much longer to actually type it out. But I was trying to say is that I'm trying to I'm connecting and reconnecting and doing stuff for. I got another show today, so that's why I'm gonna stay here and listen. But that's why I can't be as interactive as I want to be. But thank you guys for the praise, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are
You're a good
awesome.
guy. Yeah, and what I like is see you're going on when my music show starts. So
Yeah, I know.
what it's like when you stop, I still have about an hour left, and
Okay, I'll jump in and check out because I
oh yeah,
usually go a little
you did last
later.
time. Oh yeah, you had a bunch of people
Yes.
from your show, last week. It was like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
going along, just one or two people in the chat room, and then all of a sudden your show ended, and it's like bam, we got flooded with a bunch of
Just
people.
the
So that's good.
Floodworth. Yeah,
I mean,
the
me and Slightly Serious were there for that too.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was fun. Fun
That is
stuff.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
No, I usually go a little bit later on today. So, but if I usually in between streams, I'll jump into yours and say what's up and everything. So, but
Oh,
thank you
good.
guys. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome, all of you.
Well, Ralph, we love you. So
You're a good guy, man.
Yeah, very good friend, and we appreciate your loyalty and your support as well. And as I'm sure you appreciate us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate
and,
that. Thank you,
and,
Roxy, and everybody in the chat.
don't forget,
Awesome.
Ralph, don't forget. As
Yes.
soon as I reach 500, you and I are gonna eat some spicy shit on.
Yes,
You
we're gonna
guys
do
are crazy.
I'm down with that.
I saw that. That's crazy stuff right there.
Sriracha sauce all around. Sriracha,
Sriracha for everybody.
sriracha.
Yeah.
That's just
Okay,
fun to
guys,
say.
thank you.
I think I'm growing some sriracha in the back. Sriracha.
Sriracha.
Oh, but watch hot sauce stock rises.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like I said, I want to celebrate and then celebrate when I get to 1,000 followers. I'm going to celebrate by going visiting everybody in the UK. So
Oh, that'd be a blast. That would be a blast to do that. Yeah. That's fun. That's fun stuff. Well, if you're ever out in the Pacific Northwest in the United States, heading for Washington, give me a call.
I'll come visit after after the U.S. sorts their stuff out. No offense.
Yeah. No. I don't blame you. You know, it's crazy stuff. Well, that's why we don't do any traveling. It's just too crazy. There is a ton of places I'd really like to go see. And I kicked myself because me and Grammy actually lived in England for about 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And
Interesting.
I kicked myself because I didn't do all the traveling I should have done. You know, because when you're in England, you're almost like you can just jet off in any direction, you know.
Yep.
And I just didn't do it, and now I'm kicking myself because, quite honestly, now there's a ton of places I want to go see, but I ain't gonna go. I ain't gonna go see them because it's just too crazy. It's just too crazy everywhere, and it's just ruining it. You know, if we could just all get along, everybody, and enjoy the things of the world, you know, it'd be nice. If we could go and enjoy other cultures and other art and other architecture, if you all would knock it off and we all get along. Come on. You know, that's just, I feel like yelling that from the rooftops. You know, it's, you know, the one thing is like, and I preach this from our show. You know, just because you don't agree with people or there's certain things of their aspect of them you don't like or you don't agree, you don't like or whatever, doesn't mean you can't be their friend. You can still be a friend to someone. You know, I don't agree with everybody I know. I don't agree with everybody that crosses my path, but I can still be a friend. They can still be my friend. And I remember a time that's how it seemed like it used to be. I mean, we're people. Come on, let's just get along. We're people. We're the human beings. Come on, it just irritates me. It irritates me. We've gotten to the point now where you just, any little thing that you don't like about me, bam, we're enemies. I can't talk to you because I don't like this about your life. Really? I mean, come on.
Or how you see
It's just,
something, or how you have an opinion of something. Yeah.
yeah. It's all very frustrating. It's very frustrating. I just don't understand. And this is coming from somebody that used to be very highly, highly, highly angry and opinionated. But it's like the light clicked on one all of a sudden, and it's like, well, why can't we just all get along? Like Rodney Keene said, why can't we just get along? I mean, why do we have to let our differences be such a volatile point in people's relationships? It just shouldn't matter. It just should not matter. It just doesn't matter. I just don't see it. I was in a store once, and there's the checkout girl was a little Muslim girl, cute as a bug, and she's wearing her, I don't know,
Good job.
yeah, she's wearing that, and this guy behind me, "Man, I don't know, when he go, I go, what are you talking about? Well, why do they have to wear that stuff? I go, well, we do have a First Amendment here in the United States. I go, you do know that, right? First Amendment, freedom of religious expression. Isn't that her freedom of religious expression right there? You know what, buddy? You need to just shut up. Just shut up. She has just as much a right for her freedom of religious expression wearing that as you do having a cross around your neck. Come on, people. Why? I just don't get it. Why do we have to let our differences divide us as strongly as we do? I don't know. You're starting to get me fired up. I'm starting to get fired up. I'm sorry. But
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I just don't understand it. You can be friends with people that you don't agree with, or don't agree with you. And you know what? I mean, as far as this Black Lives Matter movement, or All Lives Matter movement, you know what? Your life matters. Your life matters. And until we get to the point where we can look at somebody and say, you know what? Your life matters, not mine. Take the emphasis off of me and put it on the people around us. You can point at people and say, your life matters, your life matters, and your life matters. And I don't care what we have in differences, your life matters. And we need to come to a point where we can look at everybody, look at other people, and say, your life matters. Because that's how it is. We're supposed to treat others as we want to be treated. Really? You're doing that? You're treating other people like you want to be treated? No, 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 no. See, and that's what that your life matter is. If I go out and I make sure that everybody I contact, their life matters to me. Their life matters. Takes the emphasis off of me, and I'm treating them like I want to be treated. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense at all?
Well, it makes sense to me, but I'm old school.
Yeah, well,
like
I
you.
mean, come on. I mean, that's just how it is. I'm fortunate enough to be married to a black woman. No, yes. And it's really funny when we were first married. The little neighbor kid that lived next door, he couldn't have been like 5 or 6, you know. And he comes over and he goes, "Hi." I go, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's just a little guy. He goes, "So you live here?" I go, "Yep, I live here now." Yeah. And he goes, "You know this lady?" I go, "Yeah, that's my wife." He goes, Do you know she's black?" And I went, "What? Are you kidding? What? She's black?" And he goes, "Yeah. Did you know?" I go, "No, I need to go look." But I mean, I'm just thinking now, I had fun with him, and I went, "Yes, I know she's black. There's nothing wrong with that. And send him on his way." But I'm thinking, okay, so that must be what the neighbors are
Hey,
thinking.
chill jelly.
And it's like, come on, who cares? Who cares? It's it just irritates me that we're so busy looking at other people's and what we don't agree with them about, you know, and we don't agree with this, we don't agree with that, we don't agree with that, and because of that, I can't be your friend. I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Really? What are we in grade school? Come on. I mean, let's
yes. Yes, we're in grade school now.
There used to be a time when you see somebody, they would, like at Home Depot. You're at Home Depot. Some guy's there. He's the hardware store, and he's trying to load something heavy in the back of his truck. I'll go, hey, you need some help? Let me help you. I don't know the guy from the Man in the Moon, but I'm going to help him. Hey, there you go. Okay, thanks. Hey, no problem. Have a good day. See you. I mean, can't we show expressions of kindness? We can only be kind and friendly to the people that believe everything that I believe. Well, truth be told, not everybody's going to believe what I believe. Not everybody's going to think like I'm going to think.
And not everybody's taught like you have been taught. Not everybody's it follows the same religion like you that other people follow. It's like, I completely get where you're coming from, and I 100% have to agree with you. Treat others like you've been treated. If back when I was little, if I talked back to an elder or somebody who was like a teacher, even if I agreed with them or not, I get a slap back of the head. My mom made sure of that.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah, she spared no expense, and my mom was the type that she would mind you, angry Jew is not something anybody wants to deal with. I can promise you. You come in and she'd be the quiet one. What did you do? Nothing. Sure, that's why I got a phone call from school.
Yeah.
She goes, you've lied. On top of doing this and this and this. And now, did you just grunt at me? Did you just roll your eyes at me? I didn't roll my eyes. Grunting is about as rolling as the same thing. She goes, Go get your switch. Go pick one out.
Oh, I hated that. Yeah, my mom was a nurse. She was a nurse her entire life. She retired from the nursing business. She passed away in 1996. And she went to old school nursing. I mean, she went to medical school. She went the whole 9 yards. And she sat us all down. We have a family of 5 kids, single mom raising 5 kids. And she just sat us down and point blank said, you know what? I don't care what kind of differences you think you have with other people. I don't care if you don't like other people or not. She goes, when they come into the emergency room, you know what we worry about? You know what color we look for? Red. Because everybody's got red blood. And she goes, and if you think you're better than anybody else, just let me slit your hand so you can see what color your blood is. It's blood. It's red. We're all got red blood.
Your mom.
So, she just, she nailed it, and it's like, and it made us think, she's true. It's true. It's true.
I was gonna say I'd be the kid, like the one to go, Mom, honestly, blood is actually blue until it hits air. I would be that smart ass.
Oh yeah. And she would have called you that too. She'd have called you that. She'd have called you a smart ass and then hit you upside the head.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my mom. So we knew better. We knew better to say that. She drove her point home, and
Excuse me.
And that's how we were. That's how we grew up, And
let's see, my mom I grew up with the wooden spoon.
Oh yeah.
So if anybody knows what that means, that also meant you couldn't steal food, and your ass was going to get it if you didn't have a switch. So if you did something on the spot while she was in the kitchen, you were going to get it. No, mind you, I was I spent most of my time in Canada, in the Yukon area, but I was raised in Sweden. So my Swedish friends are like, did she just really hit you? They were just in utter shock because here they're raised a bit differently. Like, yeah. And they're like, should we call? No, why? I deserved it. What?
Well, I'm like I said, I'm a little bit older. A couple of generations, maybe a generation or two, older than you. And when I was growing up, if I was over at a neighbor's house and we're goofing around, and the mom or the dad smacked the friend that I was there, you know, he would just look at us and go, "Who's next? Y'all's going to get it if you don't straighten up." I mean, that's just how it was. We had to be on our best behavior no matter where we were, because it was open SWAT time if you went to the other person's house and you behaved. They swat you. They swat you. They swat you.
Oh yeah, no, my mom would get complete what do you call it, leeway, run of the mill. She'd get complete because hey, the Secret Lounge has come in. Welcome to the Talking Corner. I'm Cracks, your host. We have the old man and Eric with us this evening as
hello
guest from the Old Man's podcast. But yeah, no, she would she'd get calls saying, "Hey, my kid's coming over. Feel free to say your piece if they're stepping out of line." And the shock, like I said, my friends would be so shocked. Like, I just wanted to taste it. Like the cake batter, or with mom with stews a lot. I just wanted to taste. So I mean, they're not sticking their finger in it. They got the spoon that and my mom would just right across the knuckles. And they would just, the look on their face is like, oh, I just got hit. And so, they'd run over to, because, when I was growing up, we really didn't have cell phones. So they would run across the street, go tell their parents, and their mom was like, and? There was no sympathy.
No. I have no regrets at all in the household I was raised in. I mean, I loved it. I loved my mom. She worked hard. There was 5 of us, and all I ever remember my mom doing was she was always at work. She was working because, it was expensive raising 5 kids, and we were close enough in age that 4 of us were in high school at the same time. So I mean, we were costing my mom some money, and she was taking care of us, doing what she needed to do, and loved her to death. She was just a great mom. And I went through a spell where I needed, this was probably middle to late 90s, I guess. My first marriage ended. Yeah. And I was kind of into a little bit of a slump. I think my mom passed away too, right after that.
That's rough.
And so I'm in a little bit of slump. I'm in a downward spiral, and so I worked at a place that offered, mental assistance, mental help, like an insurance, you could go talk to a therapist and we would cover it and that kind of stuff. So I took them up on it and went to it. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to this therapist, and this therapist starts talking and says, well, let me find out a little bit more about you. Let me ask you about your mom and your dad. And, started getting into what are your relationships? Started getting on my mom. And I said, you know what? We are done here, because none of my problems are caused by my mom. So don't even attempt to try to go there. I don't have some deep hidden thing, that my mom did to me. My mom smacked me because I needed to be smacked. My mom disciplined me when she needed to discipline me. And so if you're going to sit here and blame my mom for my problems, we're done. We're done here.
Oh, absolutely.
And just, that was just it. You just couldn't do it. I mean, my mom she was an angel as far as I was concerned. And you're talking about your mom with a wooden spoon?
Yep.
My mom's weapon of choice was a wooden yardstick. About a meter long. Yeah. She could wield that thing like a samurai warrior.
Jesus. Hi, Jill. How's it going? Jill's always with us now.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi.
Do you have any stories with moms and wooden spoons? Fly swatters, that was another one of my mom's favorites.
No, my father was the Punisher of the bunch.
The Punisher. I was the Punisher when my kids were raising up too. I haven't seen Chill Jelly in a while. You haven't seen him stop by and visit me. Yeah.
I haven't seen him on Chill. Do you still have Instagram? Jesus, dude, I don't even see you on Instagram
He's
anymore.
still on there. I mean, I managed to share the shows with him that I'm really most passionate about, and even I share his show out to others.
I've been a very busy man for the last month or so. We've been moving.
Oh, Milk
trying to
Dog
get
is
moved
here,
for
aka
21 years.
co-host.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're busy. Life happens. Life happens and we get busy. And things happen. We have to take care of business. Take care of business.
Yeah, I hear you.
Is that Billy? Is that
We hear
Billy?
Billy.
I
Yes,
love
it's
Billy.
Billy.
I love Billy.
Yes, he's back there hanging out.
So
He
how's
wants
the
some
move?
attention.
How was the move?
Oh, I have too much crap. Is how the move is going.
Isn't that the truth?
Oh, yeah.
You never realize how much stuff you have until you got to move it. Then it's like, where did all this stuff come from? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I will be glad to be done with this. We got 7 days. I'm going to say 8 days and we'll be done, finished, and then we got to put everything away. So, yay.
I read a statistic once that said that second to dealing with death, like a death in the family and that, moving is the next most stressful thing, according to people. Moving, having to move.
I agree.
I believe
100%.
it. Yeah.
I've been in that boat myself when I left my old house 2 years ago.
And that's why now when people look at me and Grammy and they say, hey, why don't you guys move? Sell your house and move. It's like, no. Why? We're not moving. We're old folk. We're staying where we're at. Leave me alone.
Well, you've invested too much of your life and y'all's hard-earned money in that place. Why would you want to leave it?
I hear you. Grammy's been in this house that we're living in. She's been in this house since, I believe, 1972. Yeah, she's the
48 years. That's a long time.
Second owner of this house. Bought it from the originals. Yeah, and she's been stuck in this house with me for 21 years. So. Ooh, man.
that poor house. I mean, that poor lady. No, I mean
that poor lady.
lady.
I just got a text message that she's on her way back, so that's good. Her dental appointment went fine, so she's on her way back. That's good.
Interesting.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. So, yeah, a couple more years and I'd be married. Grammy and I would be married just as long as me and my first wife, the first Mrs. Smurk, was married. Yeah. Her and I, Patty, we met, my kids' mom, we met when we were juniors in high school. Man. Juniors in high school, got married right out of high school. So we were married, I think, in 72. And I think our divorce was 96, 97, something like that. You'll say, oh, well, what happened? Well, how'd you guys, it ran its course. It just ran its course and it was time. So we just, we moved on. So, but we're good friends. We're all still good friends. We're happy. She lives in McMinnville, Oregon, with her husband, Joe. And we all get together. Joe and I are close. We just have fun, good times together. So, yeah. It is possible, people. It is possible. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Put your differences aside and be friends. Be friendly. It's a two-way street, though. They gotta be the same. They gotta be friendly too. So.
Yes.
So I gotta ask, Cracks, how is the? It's been a while since I've really been on here. How's the living situation going? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, it's going pretty good. I have my little brother with me.
Everything kosher with people.
Oh, you mean with my little brother? Yeah. Yeah. No, we're good now.
All right, cool.
I see a dirty little word, and now I'm just gonna say every time I see that word, I'm just gonna say Brinas.
Penis. Did you say penis?
No, Brinas.
Penis?
No, dog.
Penis.
Nice try. No, it's Milk Dog is a
Does your garden? Does you garden?
yeah, he's that.
I also had to ask Milk Dog how his new podcast show is going along too.
Yesterday it was popping. Today not so much.
Yeah, I stopped in and said hi to him. I stopped in and gave him a follow.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give him a follow because I keep missing it, but I'm always busy. I have to get up. Now he's probably the only person in this room that knows that why I have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and drive 11 hours because he knows I'm going to Kira now. So it's going to be a really long day tomorrow. But I missed going with my sister today to go visit our mom because tomorrow's midsummer and that's where I'm supposed to be. Instead, I totally forgot that I had invited you guys. I was like, shit. No, I have to stay home. So yeah.
Right.
I'm used to that. Grammy uses me for all kinds of excuses. So that's my job.
So
hey,
tomorrow-
let's go do this and that. Can't. No, Jim won't want to do that, so we can't do that. Hey, I want to come over and do this. No, you can't, Jim. And I never know this is all going on. I'm going, how come nobody ever comes and visits? And she goes, I don't know. She loves her privacy, and I'm the reason she gets her privacy. Especially too when we have family members calling and wanting money or something like that. Wanting to borrow something. She go, no, you'll have to talk to Jim about that. And then they never do. They don't want to talk to me. No, we don't want to talk to him. I got this reputation. Of being a mean guy, and I worked hard at developing that. I'm really not, but I'm like nobody wants to go nobody wants to go pet a pit bull, or a Doberman Pinscher because of the way it looks.
I do. Lies.
Well, you guys are different, but I'm talking about the normal people. They think I'm a biker. They think I'm a biker with a bad attitude because of the way I look. And it's
Great
fine.
having you on, Chill.
It's that beard. It's that beard, man. It's so intimidating.
It's fine too. I mean, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Chill left. Where did Chill go? Why did Chill leave?
Disappeared. Oh, we got.
Really?
Unless you decide to free up one space if a fourth person wants to join in. I don't know if Milk Dog wants to jump up and say hi.
Hey, well, it was good to see Chill Jelly. I haven't seen him in a while, so come and talk to us on our show. There's co-host or Milt.
Yeah.
No,
Oh. I don't know if it kicked him out or something. I mean, it doesn't. Oh, it shows that his call ended.
Oh, now he's gone. I don't see him. Yeah.
I don't see him.
Yeah, well, Chill's still here though.
Chew.
Secret Lounge is in.
Chill Jelly.
Yeah, buddy.
Another
like
very
that
good
guy.
friend of our show and Crax's show.
Yeah.
I love
Secret
Chill.
Lounge.
I miss Chill. I was like, holy crap, he like disappeared from the face of the earth. And I was like,
I know.
what the hell is it?
I know. It's crazy. But Secret's always coming in visiting us on the Old Man Show. He's always
You
welcome.
know, buddy. Big fan.
Yes.
Secret, I got a question.
Yes.
When are you going to start doing ghost stories?
Actually, I'm going to go on tonight, and I'm actually going to do a special on Hollywood mysteries / curses.
Because I love that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, I know he's going to do something. He's got to do something.
What time are you going on?
I'm gonna try to do it around 8 p.m. Central Time. If not at 8, then 8:30. I'll be on there doing that. I want everybody to stop on by, check out the show, have fun with it. You can call in, ask questions.
6 o'clock my time then. Yeah.
6 or 6:30 Pacific, but
And
9 or 9:30 for me. But
how long are you gonna go? An hour?
I'll go for the full 3 hours. I'll talk about I'll do my full show, which probably be an hour and a half, and then the next hour and a half I'll probably do just open conversation, talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I usually like to do that at the end of the show, have a little bit of talking time.
Our shows are going to kind of overlap a little bit. Yeah, that's all right.
yeah.
Oh, what time is your show?
When you're done, I go on with my music show at 8 o'clock Pacific time. That's 10 o'clock your time, I believe.
Okay, so I might cut it off early then.
Is that right? Oh no, don't cut it off because of me. I mean,
okay.
It's like Ralph's got a show going on too, and what Ralph does
Slightly serious as well.
He takes a break.
Oh, Dina's here. Hey, Dina.
Yeah, he takes a break from his show, and then he tells everybody about my show. So they catch the last half hour of my music while they're waiting for him to reboot and go again.
What kind of music is it?
Tonight we're featuring the Jeff Healey Band. Jeff Healey.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Little blues artist that's from Canada. Yeah, we're featuring him tonight. We start at 8 o'clock Pacific time. Very little talk, a lot of music. We just start and go and take off. Yeah. So yeah. When you close it up, just send everybody our way. We got we got jammed with a lot of people last week because that's what Ralph did. So, and the other one you said, who was the other one you said?
Slightly serious. I'm usually committed to him every Monday through Friday, like starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, which is 6:30 Pacific. And he usually will do a surprise impromptu show on the weekends, but he's going to try to broadcast his show tonight on location because him and his partner are taking a trip up to Big Bear, but they don't know quite yet if they're going to make it over to Vegas, but hopefully they will for the weekend, and then hopefully he'll be back home in time for his Monday show.
Yeah, see, and that's why we get the people when those shows kind of come to an end, because Eric's there and he's like those traffic guys that are out there with the flashlight cones, and he goes, "Okay, everybody, move over to the old man's podcast. Here we go. Come on, don't dally. Let's go. Move."
But you're also on opposite the nonsense password as well, which.
You're the
nonsense show was slipping, dude.
I noticed that.
It's slipping. Nonsense password show is starting to go a little downhill.
Really?
I don't know what's going up. Maybe somebody's spreading stuff or something, but it hasn't been the same. I don't know what's changed about it, but I feel it's changed.
I wound up getting a replacement headset. Chill, if you're wondering. I hope I'm not too loud for you.
Sounds good to me.
Ooh, chill.
Chill's begging us not to talk about him.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep my peace and stay silent about.
Yeah, me too. Because you don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I'm concerned about the old man's podcast. Really.
Exactly.
I try to keep that in. I try to keep that going in a certain
I try to worry about
direction.
my podcast too.
Yeah, exactly.
But then somebody, like, I noticed, I'm not sure if anybody has done it on y'all's show, but somebody keeps trying to try to add fuel to the fire. They're trying to bring back Pod Wars. They're trying to do a Pod Wars Part 2 now. I'm like, really, guys?
Oh, is that going on your show now? See, my show is nice. I never really see any of that. I really never see any of that.
I had one guy, what was it, like 2 days ago when I got on and did a show? Like 2 days ago, this guy just like trolling nonstop. Like, he kept talking crap on the comments, and a lot of the listeners were getting upset with some of the comments and stuff. He was talking about like Black Lives Matter crap, and I was just like, come on, guy. It's like you really have to bring that crap up? I mean, like, that's not even what we're talking about.
Yeah, I usually say, "Hey, thanks for coming in, block."
Right.
Well, see,
I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. How do you block?
You click on their name, and then it'll ask you if you want to admin, block, or
click on their little picture. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yes, but chill. You're a cool troll. And here's why: you never put down anybody. You never go after anybody in general. You just like to make fun of situations, which lightens the mood. That's why we love you, Trill. But and see, here's the thing. I don't like to. I really do not block anybody. I really try not to. And I did have to block somebody. I think it was Wednesday. I had Rome on, and they were really going into him racially. I was like, "Yeah, you're done."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he turned around and he goes, "I think actually I know that person." He goes, "I think they're just shit." I was like, "Oh, well, sorry about that." He goes, "It's okay."
It's funny you mentioned blocking people. I think that I remember one Friday morning, there was an incident where a troll it made a really nasty comment to one of our friends, Ashton, and because that comment was so vile, the old man immediately blocked that commenter just like that. And then, like the following Friday's
Really?
music show, Dena Jo had to block someone who was making inappropriate comments of some kind. And I was on Slightly Show the other night, and we had a troll
Really?
make a comment about our friend Lazat, or some sort of inappropriate question about him working at or owning like a 7-Eleven store. And then he also got under my skin when he basically made fun of my gender, saying if I was on my period. And I was like, that was the most insulting thing that anybody could say. So I blocked him for that too.
Really?
Because oh yeah.
I'm sorry I'm laughing, but that just sounds ridiculous. That's why I'm laughing. It's ridiculous.
There's just no call. There's just no call for that. And see, but that's the
yeah, no joke.
That's the social media mentality.
They want to get a reaction out of people, is what it is.
Well, what it is there's no accountability. You can pretty much type and say what you want. You can say whatever you want on a typewriter,
Not really.
on a keyboard, and put it on the screen. Why? Because the person ain't standing next to you so they can slap you. You know what I'm saying? So there's just, there's nothing.
There's repercussions because once you put something on the internet, it's there and everybody and their mama's gonna see it eventually.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like that's why I just don't. My show, I just don't. And I've been, and I've instructed Eric and Dena Jo. We just don't tolerate it. Ban, you're blocked. I don't care. It doesn't bother me to block people.
Well, see,
I just block them.
Here's the thing: if they go after me, I not a problem. If they go after one of my guests or one of my listeners, then I have issues.
Yeah, I'm the same way. You can make fun, and I mean, there's a difference between making fun and being mean. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if being mean and cutting to their heart, cutting to their soul, is not teasing and poking fun. There's a difference, and you can sense the difference. Now, the one thing is about writing in chat rooms and that, without hearing the actual verbiage of the word, you don't hear the content, you don't hear the mode behind it. So yeah, you don't hear what's behind it. So right. So there's just that's what I'm talking about. Can't we all just hey, can't we all just have a good time? Just have a good time.
Yeah, but sometimes trolling is funny. Sometimes it's funny to troll, like to say something funny, and then you get a big reaction.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to say, Chill Jelly, I love you. You can troll me all day. It just means I get a lot of your attention. And to get back to the trolling, there's a fun troll, and then there's the trolling that actually is meant to verbally hurt or go after somebody to get a reaction.
Exactly.
Why do we call them trolls anyways? Why are they called trolls? Where did that come from?
I have no idea where that came from.
Probably because of the troll. You have to pay the troll a toll. Because trolls are used to here in Norway. They're used to scare children and keep them off the bridges, especially late at night.
Kind of think of the story of the Billy Goat's Gruff.
Are we paying it with our attention that we're giving attention to the troll? Is that a form of payment?
Yep.
I think people just get off. They kind of enjoy getting other people upset. It's like an adrenaline rush for them. I don't know. And why
it sounds like they're sadists. They get off on other people's pain and suffering.
Yeah.
Or they get some sort of like arousal from it, if that means anything to anybody.
Well, see, and I generally just ignore people like that. I'll just ignore them, especially if I'm there. But if you're in a chat room, everybody's exposed to what you're saying, and I feel like I'm responsible for the people in my chat room. I control I control.
Of course.
There's an element of control that I've got to have, and I don't want people coming into my show, coming into my chat room, and being insulted or being offended, by nastiness, anger, and nastiness. And there's a difference. Like I said, there's a difference if you're teasing. Me and Dena Jo, we tease each other all the time. But it's not. We're not mean, We're not mean to each other, And we poke fun at Eric. Eric pokes fun back but we're not mean, We're not cutting into their personality and that stuff. When you start saying stuff that cuts into a person's personality, then I've got an obligation.
What would be an example of cutting into someone's personality, though?
Oh, just a personal insult. Slamming who they are, or just a personal insult in that. I mean, I won't even entertain saying stuff about it because I just don't want to. I just don't. I just won't go there. But you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
People
see,
that say things and cut through your.
I was going to say, I'm going to stop you right there. Chiljoy made a really good example, especially since I was raised by a Jew. I did not follow. I didn't swear, but I'm still considered a Jew because my mother is a Jew. And
You were
somebody
born into it in a way.
like you Jew fuck. That would be that would be towards me personally. And is it a troll to call me a Jew fuck and then ask me a bunch of questions about about my family's Jewish religion? Because if you look at my father, he's Catholic, so you can kind of go both ways.
But what about having like a stoic approach to things where if somebody tells you something, it's kind of like water off a duck's ass, where it doesn't bother you and you're like, I don't care what that person says. Like, what about?
Yeah, but it
having
might
a
not
strong-
bother me, but it might bother like several people in my chat room. So,
Or
and I feel obligated to make sure they have an enjoyable experience coming into my podcast. So I'll block you. Boom, you're gone. I won't even entertain it. I won't even enter into the arena. I'll just soon block you.
No, it's just like, do you randomly just go up to a stranger? It's like the dating app. Do you randomly go up to a stranger in person and ask her what color her underwear is?
No, but that's an interesting dating strategy.
That's funny. No.
Exactly, but you would see that online a few times, especially if you're a female and you're on a dating app. You may get some of those people. Would that be trolling, or is that getting a little too personal?
Are you saying there's a time and a place for trolling? Are you saying like if we go to the bar together and I buy you a beer, you can call me names? Like, is there a time and a place where you can like bust my balls?
Well, if you're among friends, y'all are just joking
I was
around.
going to say exactly, but I was going to say if you're into busting balls, I'm not into that, but I know a few women that are, so you can go talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, there's other podcasts out there that will totally invite you in. I mean, that's what I tell people. Hey, if that's what you want to do, then go find a podcast that lets you do it. That's fine with me. Go in there and talk your crap all you want. Because there are podcasts that will entertain it and let you go and join right in. Then go ahead and do that. Just don't do it here.
What I hate is that I go online and I'll post a joke or something, and I'll post something that I'm into, and then I'll have my other comedian friends will just shoot it down with their bull crap trying to insult my character. But usually I just kind of delete the negativity and only keep the people who are gonna get me paid.
But we're not getting paid. We're here for just the entertainment of having friends and friends around.
right.
I mean, that's good too, but I feel like it's hard to get really good friends. Like, I mean, how many friends do you think you really need in your social sphere?
As many as want to be your friend.
Exactly. I was going to say
there's no limit.
You only need I'd say you only really need 10 really good friends that have your back. And I like to keep a small social network. That way I don't have too many people that are clouding my, influencing me and telling me what to do. Because then it becomes like a groupthink kind of a thing. And I'm highly against groupthink.
Well, and if that's your bag, great, good for you. I mean, that's it. But if you're talking to somebody that doesn't believe that way, you can still be his friend, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm all for being cordial, right? Like, we all have different beliefs. Like, I can feel the energy in the room has changed since I've started talking, and you guys are trying to figure me out, which is pretty funny.
No. Actually, no, it hasn't.
I'm
We're
just trying to listen.
I'm trying to read what other people are saying. So,
Yeah,
but no,
I just
I mean,
your rich uncle Mike. I just sent you the definition for the internet slang troll. So,
and I've been trying to read that. But no, I mean, I mean, the thing is what?
Sorry.
Grammy in?
Grammy's here.
Grammy's here. But no, here's the thing, Billy. Here's the thing.
One comment and it's funny, and you see that it's funny, would you say, all right, that was kind of dickish, that was kind of a dick thing to do, but you know what? It was still a little funny, so I'm gonna let it go. Like, is there ever moments like that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But
Oh yeah,
but here's the
absolutely.
thing.
I've done that.
Exactly. But the trolls that we're talking about are people who literally do it to hurt, not to joke around.
Yeah, they're not doing it to be funny. They're doing it to be mean. That's how they are.
And honestly, there are some people on Podbean that are like that.
They're looking to drive a dagger into your heart. They're not looking to just make you laugh. We've had people like that. Dena and Jo and I have talked afterwards. She goes, "Well, that guy there, he's just, man, I don't know. I thought like maybe he should have been blocked." I'm going, he's an asshole. It was okay. We'll just keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't go beyond that. I mean, that's, we've done that.
I mean, I do feel like everybody has to have that asshole friend, and you know who that asshole friend is. Like, everybody has that guy in their social sphere.
Oh, absolutely. I work in construction.
But the thing is, though, they're the asshole friend. They're not mean. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to draw that line between
friend.
Yeah, and there's a difference between being you're just an asshole, and you move on, and it's like, man, that was mean. You're gone. You know what I'm saying? There is a difference, and I think, well, how do I know?
For sure.
Yeah, they say, how do I know? I'm 67 years old. I think I've lived life long enough to be able to tell when someone's being mean and when they're being.
But do you ever feel like there's a very thin line between being a total asshole and then crossing the line to like, that was personal, you shouldn't have brought that up, and now I hate you?
I wouldn't hate him. I wouldn't hate him.
I've never read into anybody that I've hated that much just because of the statement.
No, but I'll block you. Because I have an obligation to my podcast and to my followers.
Exactly.
Hey, I love you to death, buddy. Block. You're gone. And they can, if they're a close friend of mine, they can contact me and go, "Oh man, you blocked me." We had a guy on the show the other day, and he knows the rules. He knows what's up. He knows what's going on. And he kind of slips a little bit and he goes, "Don't block me." No, what did he say? No, he didn't say don't block me. He said, "Don't kick me out, old man. Don't kick me out." Because but there was what he was saying was he was just, it was and he even admitted he was being a little bit of an asshole, but he wasn't being mean. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't being mean, but he knew he could almost feel like my cursor was going over the block part. No, I'm just he could feel the vibes.
The slow creep.
Yeah. Stay away from.
Why is Grammy not calling?
All four of them are filled
because all the lines.
Oh, okay. Not according to me. I don't see Eric. I just see.
I'm on here.
I know you are. I just don't see you.
I think Secret Lounger Billy would probably have to come off for Grammy to call in.
Yeah, I don't mind getting off.
It was great talking to you, Secret Lounge, and look forward to your show.
He's heard Grammy a couple of times, I'm sure.
No, never.
Really? Haven't you been on when Grammy's been on Secret Lounge? Huh? I find that strange.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
She was on Wednesday's show, I remember, I believe. If Grammy wants to call in, Prax is waiting for you.
Yeah. Grammy, are you? Hold on a second. Let me yell at Grammy. Hold on. I got to turn away from the mic. Grammy, are you here?
Hello, Leslie. Welcome to the.
I don't know where she's at. I don't know where she's at. She might be outside listening on our patio underneath our new awning we have. That's nice. She'll call if she wants to call.
Wait,
Grammy, if you're listening, call if you want.
She is. Grammy.
Hello. How is everyone?
Welcome, Grammy.
Is that a dessert item? It looks like a dessert item.
Well, that's on her little picture there.
It's a pink teddy.
That is actually. I'm going to brag on you, baby. That is actually a crocheted stuffed animal that she made.
I want one.
Really
I want one.
That's really hard to make. You can't make that.
How much would it cost me to get one?
Send us your address and we'll see what we can do. We don't.
Can I get it in more than one color?
Oh yeah, Grammy will make it in whatever color you want. Grammy doesn't charge for her stuff.
Whatever color
you should.
Well, there's a long spectrum of colors and yarns. So, what did you?
Blue and yellow because of the
I love
Swedish color
blue.
flag.
You like that pink? Huh? It talks to you.
I believe Kraz, don't we both have we've shared email addresses, haven't we? I think I have your email address.
I believe we do.
I think you
believe
have
we
my
did.
email address too. Yeah.
I think we did. We did.
Well, what you can do is you can send me an email saying what your favorite colors are, and we can communicate it and get going. And then because what we would need is personal information like what your address is and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, it would be for my nieces. So if you could
Oh.
make one for each of my nieces, which is 2, I would be more than happy to pay for all the supplies, her time, and the shipping.
Oh, okay.
So
I have made lots of. I have made lots. Oh. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Hello.
Go ahead, Grammy.
Grammy, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I have made lots of animals. I've even made. I had combined like 4 different patterns to make for a friend's mother whose dachshund had passed away. And I had so much fun doing that. And I made an eagle for grandniece, eagle, and I make Afghans for kind. You can fold it into shape and bundle it. I just do some of everything. I just have fun. It's just nice.
Man, I don't know where you're at in the house, Grammy, but
I'm having a hard time understanding.
Grammy, I don't know where you're in the house, but you need to be a little bit closer to where I'm at because you're breaking up really bad. You need to come be a little bit closer to me.
Okay, I was outside.
See, you're too far away from the Wi-Fi. Bad Grammy.
Okay, I'm coming.
I mean, I kind of like the robotic noises. It
Wow.
Yeah. Little robotic voice, really.
Is this better? Is this better?
Say something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds better.
Okay. Okay, so I can't sit outside. Okay. No. But yeah, I just enjoy it, and I just love making. I even make layettes for the new babies. I make a blanket, a beanie, and a booties, and a washcloth. And just because that's what I like to do, and I just like to give it to people because it's my thing. It gives me joy in my heart.
Well, like I said, I really would because I have a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old niece, and if you really, I mean, like you said, you've made that, so I would be more than happy to pay for all the expenses. Just as we're speaking, I'm sending him an email now.
Oh, okay. So, what were you wanting? A teddy bear or
a teddy bear? 2 teddy
okay.
bears. Like I said, I have
bears?
I just have 2 nieces, so.
Mm-hmm.
If I got 1 teddy bear and just for myself, I would never hear the end of it. Never.
Okay. And you want them all 3 pink?
No, just the 2, and I want blue and yellow. So, yeah,
blue and yellow. You got it. My shades.
You
my
do.
Choice in shades because they come.
Absolutely.
All right, you got it.
Oh, well, we could Google the flag. Is this Sweden?
Yes, it's Swedish flag.
Yeah, we could Google the Swedish flag because I think they have the colors on the flag.
Oh, okay. That'll work, and then I can try to match them up as close as I can when I go pick up the yarn for it. Yeah.
I worked with a guy. He was my boss. He was an older gentleman. He was a former Navy SEAL, and he was really big into the Navy and all that. And Grammy made him a blanket with the Navy colors. Absolutely gorgeous. She does some good work. I'm telling you, she does some fantastic work. When she can, the reason she's so good at what she does is because she's usually doing it with me sitting right next to her. And you know me, I can't stop talking or poking and tapping on her. And so she's really got to concentrate. And she's like a machine. She's just like a crocheting, knitting machine. And
what's the name of that thing that's on the wall that has like I don't know how to describe it. It's like made of cloth and then it has like a circle and there's usually like a little house in the center of it and it's like it's needle and thread and it's usually like somewhere by like a laundry area or like in the hallway. I don't know what it's called.
I don't
I'm
know.
not
I don't know what you're
I'm
talking
not
about.
intelligent.
Are you talking about
It's a very God, I feel so stupid. It's like it's a circle. Then there's like a little house on the inside, and it'll have like a little positive message on the top. And then it'll like it's crochet. It's like some kind of crochet something.
Oh, you sound like you're describing some kind of needle cross stitch work.
Yeah, cross stitch.
Yeah.
Cross stitch work. Yeah, it's in a little frame. Yeah. Yeah, she does cross stitch too.
Oh yeah.
That's difficult. That's hard. You got to have a skill. That's a skill. It's a lost art because a lot of people don't know how to do that nowadays. So it's a very difficult thing.
Well,
because
go ahead.
I was going to say that because mothers weren't taught by their mothers, who weren't taught by their mothers how to do those handcrafts. It was all handed down. It's just
women my age don't know how to do it.
I was gonna say my mom tried to teach us how to sew. Only 2 of my sisters caught on. I could never do it, but we all learned how to play one instrument, and we all know how to at least cook for ourselves, and also change the oil and check the brakes in our car.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a daddy's girl too.
Yeah, buddy. Ooh. You got a boyfriend?
You're married.
Oh Jesus.
Well, no, I wasn't talking about me. I mean, you'd be a catch. You'd be a catch. You already do more than most guys now. Most young guys nowadays. You can change your own oil.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting because here in Sweden, there's a lot you can't do to your car that you could probably do in the U.S. because here we're not allowed to change our own brakes. You need a professional to sign off on that. And oil changes you're not allowed to do. You have to go into the shop. You have to go into the shop. But what if you own a older car, or it passes inspection, but it constantly needs that change, or you need to check it.
Right.
Those things I can do, but yeah, you're not allowed to do a lot of certain things because of the fact that here it has to pass an inspection. You're not even allowed to do your own bathroom unless you're licensed to do bathrooms.
Really?
Wow. Because of the water. You don't want water damage from the floor above you because of the potential hazard that it will cause in the future.
Sure.
Concrete. Because here the apartments are made out of concrete slabs. There's a layer of sand in between the concrete slabs, so that it's extremely heavy. What happens if water gets into that?
Sure.
Well, let me tell you from a point of view from because I work with concrete. Concrete will erode, crack, and then you have that extra weight of water on the sand. So the concrete slab that is the floor below ceiling will not be able to hold that weight, and it will come crashing down. There's no doubt about it. And everybody is like, well, why do you have sand in between and not like insulation? Well, insulation can actually catch fire at a certain temperature. Sand cannot.
Interesting.
So that's it's actually it's actually really good to stop fires from spreading through each of the apartments.
Wow.
So it's very rare for an apartment complex here in Sweden to catch on fire and get completely out of control.
See, I understand what you're saying about cars too, though, because I used to work on all my own vehicles up to about the mid '80s. No, I take that back. Up to about the '90s, I stopped because they started to get so electronic, complex with computers in them and electrical stuff and this and that. They're not your basic your basic, just an engine, And I have a 2008 Toyota Tundra that I have. I absolutely love this truck. I don't think I personally have opened the hood on that thing at all since I bought it in 2008. There's just too much stuff that I don't know what's going on with it. So it's always going back to the dealer to be worked on. So yeah, I wouldn't even attempt to do the brakes or anything on that. Now I've got a 1988 GMC Jimmy. I would, because it's all basic automotive stuff. I can do that. But this newer truck, I wouldn't even want to touch that. Yeah. Nice thing though about having a professional do it, if it goes wrong, they got to fix it.
Yeah, well, the here is if something goes wrong, they know who to punish. Here in Sweden, if you do it yourself, you're found liable. What if your brakes go out and you actually kill someone?
Yeah, exactly.
So here we have this huge thing of taking responsibility for your actions. So to keep people, because we're not a place where you can sue that much. It's not like I don't know if it's true or not, but it's rumored that in the U.S. you can practically sue almost over anything.
Oh, that's a lottery. It's like a lottery system here.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's like you just walking around hoping something will happen to you so you can sue them and enter into the lottery and see if you're going to win. Oh, yeah. It's like the new lottery.
Here, you can't do that here. Our laws are to protect individuals as well as protect businesses. So you can't just you can't just have anything happen to you, because they'll look at you. What did you do to cause yourself to be put in that situation?
Oh, I wish they'd ask that question here. What did you do? Well, what did you do to put yourself in that? Yeah, I wish they would. Yeah.
So here, to protect, for the insurance companies, the insurance companies, so they can't drive up the prices. They make the mechanic responsible.
Oh, there you go.
And the business the mechanic works for responsible. Oh, thank you, Eric, for the coffee.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And when you have that kind of weight on you and that kind of job, then you're like, oh crap. Well, yes,
maybe I better do it right. Yeah. Maybe I better do it right and follow all the regulations. Yeah.
Exactly. So here, but I was getting back to what Chill Jelly said to Billy. Yes, Billy, you realize we're hearing you type, and it sounds like you're beating it.
What am I doing? I'm not beating anybody.
I thought it was percussion. I thought it was some percussion going on.
Nice. I have really big thumbs.
I thought he was tenderizing meat.
Considerizing something, but I don't think it was the kitchen stew.
See, when I'm a very firm typer. When I type to someone, I type passionately, and I have big thumbs, so it encompasses this whole screen.
Do you want to shovel?
250 pounds.
Do you want to shovel with that? Because you keep burying just everything.
I mean, if you send me a text message right now and I respond to you, it will have some passion in the message. I guarantee you.
There you go.
It's called the mute button. It's called the mute button. If you again, it chill says mute it. Yeah.
It's funny because I have this headset and it's supposed to be like a really futuristic one, so I didn't think it would pick up the sounds from my typing. I didn't think it was that high tech that it could understand that I was doing that.
Man.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now everybody, when I post this on when I publish this, everybody's gonna now know that it sounds like you're beating it off.
Well, that's what you guys want. See, now you're trolling me. We started off with trolling, but now.
I meant it. I thought you were tenderizing some meat to fix for dinner.
Yeah, that's what I want. See, me and Granny got the right idea. You guys are all, warped.
See, because I know I've done that with my little tenderizer thing. Just pound on it and make it thin, so you can stuff some chicken or chicken breast or chuck around.
I want to do like baby back. I want to do baby back ribs with a dry rub. So, that's good.
Speaking of ribs, since tomorrow's midsummer, I'm gonna have some spare ribs. I'm gonna have some flesk filet, which is a fillet, pork fillet. And then also we're having these flesh steak, which is these big pork steaks. So yeah, I can't.
See, we've been
I
encouraging
feel like when
people
you eat
to.
ribs, you got to be unapologetic.
We ribs. We've been on the Old Man's podcast. We've been encouraging people to go to our Facebook page and post recipes, their favorite recipes for summertime cooking and all that stuff. So, you feel like posting it? Go over there and post it. I
mean, do
posted
you
a.
think
Dude.
what was the best place in America that makes the best like barbecue? Like, do you think Australia has us beat on that, or do you think other places in the United States are the best?
All I've ever eaten is
Well,
what we
if
have
you
over
send
here.
us some from Australia, I'll be glad to give you my input.
I would. I hear they eat like crocodiles and stuff like that, but I'm not really prepared for that kind of life.
Oh, well, it tastes like chicken.
That's what they say. That's what they say. I don't know. I've seen it. I've seen them cook crocodiles, but I never actually said, you know what, I'm going to pay $6 for this. Like, I never actually did it.
I never had crocodile, but I've had alligator. Alligator's really good, honestly.
Alligator.
Yeah, we get all kinds of stuff imported here in Sweden. Just because we're Nordic doesn't mean we don't know what real food is.
The craziest thing I ever had might have been like duck meat with like duck blood. It's like it was this salad. It was like a duck blood salad, but it's very popular in Vietnam.
And oh, you're talking about the blood sausage?
Yeah, but it was like
pudding.
Duck meat. It was weird. It was weird. I didn't like hate it, but it was the weirdest thing I've ever had in my life.
I think blood sausage is my unique thing that I've had. But I've been offered mountain oysters before.
Wait, that's testicles, right? That's bull testicles, right?
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. What? Yeah. You have oysters with mountains? What?
I've always wanted to try Rocky Mountain oysters. I don't think I'll ever have the chance because I've only been in Colorado in passing, but I would do it. I would.
Well, that's what I try to do. Now that I've gotten older, I like to be able to say, if someone asks, well, have you ever had this? My keywords are not to my knowledge. And that is because I say that because when you're out and about and you're visiting or whatever, and someone offers you something and you take a little bite, you don't always know what that is.
Sometimes you don't know. You don't want to know what it is.
That happened to me. I was in Thailand and I thought I bought meatballs and it was something else. It was not even meatballs. It was like something else was in there and it was like real gross. And I didn't know
which
what
one?
I was eating.
Do you remember the name? Because I've been to Thailand a few times. I
can't. I remember in Thailand that like I only knew like 6 words and I used those 6 words to navigate. And yeah, I can ask how much something is. I can ask if it's cow or if it's chicken or if it's pork, but I don't remember it was this ball. It was a fried up ball, and on the inside had like meat parts, but it was meat parts that the cow didn't want back. And then it was like some vegetable that just tasted really sour. I don't know what it was, but I bit into one of them. I'm like, this is not meatballs. This is not what I thought I was getting, And when you're in Thailand, you think a whole nother thing. Like you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get some noodles, and then meat is scarce. I found meat to be kind of scarce out there.
I didn't. I found it everywhere. What time of year did you go?
Meat sticks and stuff. I went to I went to a lot of food trucks because I like to put myself through torture. But I basically went to all of these meat trucks and they were just small little servings of meat. It wasn't like a big old steak or anything like that.
No, but I mean, what time of year is my question? Because certain types of years they've got certain types of fruits and vegetables that they're more so than not. So if you're going to meat trucks, it depends on the seasons. that you're going.
I went to. I guess
Not
I was
only does
there
it
during like.
Not only does it depend on
was-
the season you go to them, but it depends on their seasoning.
Ah,
Nah, not
that's a
really.
big
Not in
one.
Thailand.
Well, here's the thing. I've never complained about Thai food. Like, I've always loved Thai food. I will always love Thai food. Like, there is no Thai restaurant on this planet that I've ever been to where I was like, oh, that was terrible. Like, I've never had that experience in my life. But I was in Thailand and I went to a McDonald's and I got this, like, they have their own quadruple Big Mac. And I had gotten that. And I swear to God, I was in the hospital for like 3 days. It was terrible. And to think that I could eat street food and never be sick, but then the one day I eat McDonald's, I was like, I can't eat this, dude. I can't eat fast food. Like, I gotta eat regular organic or like wholesome stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, the street food is. I really love the street food. I think the street food is more organic than actual fast food.
That's true.
And so you just basically went from eating not so much grease to eating grease. So it just basically cleaned you out. And depending on type of year, depending on the temperatures on the inside of the building, can also have a. You remember, I named one of my tarantulas after one of their prominent Muay Thai fighters, which is Singh, and he works for the same company as I do, and I'll be working with him come July 15th. So he's always constantly asking how his tarantula is doing, and that should tell you. I love Thailand. So Thailand's
Yeah,
fun.
I got to go to Bangkok, Chiang Mai. I went to Hoi Hin for a little while. I didn't go to like the obvious places where guys my age go to, like Pattaya or anything like that.
Never been there.
If you've been to
Never
Thailand,
been to
you know,
anywhere.
if you've been to Thailand, you get the joke. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You know? But yeah, I wasn't one of those guys. Like, there's so much of that sex trafficking going on, but like I really wasn't there for that. Like I really just wanted to get away from like where I was living at home because the people around me were getting so negative and just judging me. And so I said, you know what? I understand that I'm different. I understand that I have a different take on the world. So I'm going to go to another place to see how they do things. And I learned a lot, dude. I was there for a month in Thailand and I learned more things in Thailand than I've probably learned living in Hawaii for like 10 years.
Did you speak the language?
Yeah, I mean, I knew like I could do like 6 or 7 words, and that was
Oh,
enough to
okay.
get me, out of trouble.
All of that you
Like,
can always. Oh, go ahead.
I know enough Spanish to get me into a fight. I don't know enough Spanish to get me out of a fight. It's the same thing for Thai. Like I know what to say in Thai to get me into a lot of trouble, but I don't know enough to get me out of it. Like I'm sorry or something like that. Which would have been useful at times, trust me. If I knew how to say sorry in Thai, I think I would have got out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, no, see, I was going to say, you can also do like a friend of mine did. She got lost. She got drunk and got lost. And I mean, she got really, really lost. Like, end up in the next city over lost. Yeah, and that's really hard to do in Thailand, honestly, because those cities are pretty big. I don't know how she ended up doing it, but she ended up getting another hotel for the night. And she didn't get robbed or anything, but getting back there, she didn't really know what to do. So she went up to what she thought was a group of ladies when she apparently, no, mind you, this is her story. She thought she stepped up to a group of ladies and asked them if anybody had spoken English. And yeah. One of them had popped up and she goes, this woman was gorgeous. She goes, she was absolutely beautiful. I was like, I think I know where this is going because I know where you went. And I'm just going to leave out names of cities because if anybody's from Thailand or been to Thailand, then they may or may not get offended from the next words about to come out of my mouth. So I want to leave it as vague as possible. And she goes, yeah, this cute little thing. She goes, and then I realized she's got an Adam's apple. I was like, oh dear. She goes, but she wore it, she goes, she was my best friend for the next 4 days. But yeah, she acted like a translator. She gave her the same price as she would normally charge one of her clients, aka client. But yeah, she did. She goes. She had a great time. But yeah, if you ever get lost in Thailand, don't be afraid because over there, the tourism is evolved around some of the more. How would I say that nicely? The more
Elusive
adventurous.
entertainment.
Yeah, that or adventurous entertainment.
I did
So
find that the city was very liberated, and it was liberated in the
yeah.
sense that you could kind of be a free spirit if you wanted to be. And what I did experiment was that I got really wasted. The thing is, beer in Thailand is like highway robbery. Like the prices that you pay for beer in Thailand, you might as well buy beer back home.
Oh,
But like,
maybe that's because
yeah,
you're a guy. Because man, it's the cheapest thing for us.
well, were you getting mixed drinks or were you getting like actual? Because beer by the bottle is about like $10. It's
we were
it's
getting
like
it
club
from
prices.
the spout.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's always good. But like, so well, what ended up happening is I got wasted and I just stumbled around Bangkok and I was like, I gotta get as much trouble as I can, and no one's ever messed with me. Like I went to parts where literally I could not translate my way out of a friggin' paper bag, but everybody was chill, dude. Like everybody was so chill. And that's the thing I like about it. Like, there's parts here in Hawaii where you can walk down the street and people will mess with you, dude. Like, people will like actively mess with you in Hawaii, but like people in like Bangkok will not mess with you.
Nope.
Like, it's part of the culture to
Well,
like
that
not start
and
stuff.
that and they highly a lot of businesses highly depend on tourism. So
Right.
what happens if the tourists get messed with? The tourists won't come back, and they
Yeah.
won't.
That's true.
They'll tell their friends, "Don't come here." So to protect their businesses, they take care of the riffraff. I know from firsthand when another friend of mine got robbed. We were standing there and she just got robbed right in the middle of daylight. And I wouldn't say not 10 minutes later, her purse was returned. Everything else was returned. Apologies were from everywhere. And of course, you know, that she's like, okay, I'll fill out a report with the police. No. We'll take care of it. No. We'll take care of it. Okay. And they hailed us a taxi. We got out of there, and yeah, it was we came back and nothing was said. Everything was taken care of, and yet we went out. We had a good time.
Oh, that's good. Well, everyone, Grammy's going to get off the line now, but it's been a pleasure joining and hearing your voices and doing. But I've got to go and get some dinner started.
Yum.
I'm thinking about roasted vegetables, like
That
Yum.
sounds good.
yeah, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, just some good stuff.
That
So,
sounds really good.
I'm into
Sounds
that.
awesome.
oh yeah.
I'm into
Well,
that.
anyway,
Like a man.
everyone have a wonderfully blessed weekend, and just know that you're all on Grammy's mind, and she loves you all. And just take care and be safe. Okay.
Okay, Grammy. Love you too.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Don't come banging on my door now.
I'm sneaking up on you, buddy.
See you on the Chit Chat Show, Grammy.
She gonna sneak up
All
on
right,
me.
dear.
Oh.
Bye bye.
Well, I was gonna say I hate to cut the show short. It is midnight. I do want to get at least a little sleep before I have to leave at 2:00 in the morning.
Sure. Hey, well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you letting us get on and explain our podcast and give us the shout out and all that stuff. It's been a blast. You are one of my favorite podcasts. So thank you very, very much.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
And I have to say the same thing about you because I always miss you because you're on when I'm like I have to cook dinner, I have to do the laundry, I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have
Sure.
to like it's like the middle of my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the benefits of being able to download stuff, though. So
Exactly.
yeah, because I don't catch your show live a lot, but I do know how to download. So that's how. Yeah, because you're busy. You're busy with life. You got to do what you got to do. But man, it's been fun. I've really enjoyed this. Thanks a lot. It's been fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on. And Eric, you're always an angel. Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
And I really look forward to you getting JJ from Slightly Serious on your show very soon, which I'm certain that's going to wind up being a fun show. Me and him have a lot of fun on his show. And then we've even had some playful banter about him not liking Vegemite spread and Ovaltine chocolate milk, which he'll give me shit for it later if that means anything. But we have fun and all. But I look forward to me coming back very soon for your show.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off then.
But as always, love you and God bless you.
It's been a blast. I'm going to sign off. Thank you very much. Come and visit us, and I'll be back and visit you again.
Also, let me write down the name real quick of the name of the tarantula for next month. Wrong one. So, if you guys can say this name, and the contest will start at the beginning of next month. You guys, the first caller wins a free tarantula with a care kit. So, study the name, and I will see you guys next week. Love you guys. As Grammy says, love you, bless you, take care. Everybody stay safe out there.
I just screenshotted. See you next time, cracks.
Yeah, see you later. Take care, Chill. I gotta go. Chill Dilly just got back from ordering.
Everybody love everybody.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful hashtag. Right, but Chill. And Mel just got here. See, everybody that's just coming in. There is the name of the tarantula, so study it very hard, and maybe you guys win a tarantula next month. And again, I'm just wrapping up the show. Sorry for everybody. Sorry for everybody that just came in. I love each and every one of you. Take care. Enjoy your midsummer celebration. Yes, tomorrow I'm going to be enjoying it very much. So I'm going to eat as much as possible. So take care. Hey, doll.